Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Also below this video you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy, and this is of particular note if you drive an electric vehicle. Speaking of Patreons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon, so a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation to Sarah Griffiths, Rob H., Ben White, Maximum Gravy, Austin Whitsitt, John Kays, Tommy Swagnuts, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Will Brax, Mel B. Styles, Troy Shuker, Bose Nail, lost my place, Maris, Harry Blade, Mobile Max 777, Neo the One, Lost Cat FE, Rob W, Open Minded, Reese Pound, Del West Watson, Mike, Muted, Dick Earth Skeptic, Maria Neelands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, The Real Gabster, Liam Nedrick Jr., Abraham Mohammed, Adrian Quintana, Skeptic936, Life is Short, theflatearthchannel.com and David Wayne Foster. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
I need you to make me a moderator on your channel so I can share links and like when we're promoting channels and Discord channels and YouTube channels.
Yeah, sure. If I see you in there and I remember, I'll make you a mod.
Right, and I talked with Sleeping Warrior about it. He's fine with it now. I know before he had an objection to it, so.
Did he really? Like I care. No offense, Sleeping Warrior.
Well, I want to make sure we're good with him, right?
Oh, that's between you and him. But it makes no difference to me if Sleeping Warrior's got an objection with one of my moderators. You know what I mean?
So let me see now.
But by the same token, I appreciate what you're saying.
Right. Because I notice at times we shout out channels and Discord channels and even like to explain people how to get on Discord. So that would come in handy for me to help you behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so how's your morning? Oh wait, it's afternoon where you are.
Me?
Yeah. I mean, how are you doing? Like,
taking my kids swimming, and that's about it.
oh yeah, I got 2 kids now.
Yeah, fortunately, they've both got lessons at exactly the same time, so I can drop the one off with her lesson teacher, whatever you call them, swimming instructor, and then.
Right. Oh yeah, so with this, focusing on YouTube and stuff like that, you got. I would say you got like more time with your kids, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah. Apart from now, I mean, at this particular moment, they're not here.
Right. Well, that's good to hear.
I mean, they're in the next room, but with my wife. And... Go on, Steve.
Mic check.
Hello, Steve.
Hello.
Steve, we hear you. Oh, he doesn't hear us. Let me go in Discord to see if something is wrong. Well, no, because
I don't know if you can hear me, Nathan.
I can hear you, Steve.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Unless you're just hot micing.
Well, maybe, have you checked?
Your green lights. There's Righteous. Oh, Righteous on death.
Can you hear me in there?
Hey, Righteous, can you hear me?
Maybe he's got me muted. Stab,
Righteous.
ask him if he's accidentally muted me.
Hello?
Right, I gotta. Hold on.
may have accidentally muted me in the Discord server.
Right.
You ask him.
You know what? I'm gonna
Just ask him, Righteous, because he can hear you.
Wait, I got the echo. So I gotta drop out of here. All right, Steve, can you hear me? Steve? He's typing.
Steve!
All right, let me type to him. I'm telling him to drop and reconnect. If not, you drop and... Well, actually, I can hear you, so it should be...
Hello?
Hey, Neil.
Hey, Neil.
How are you?
It's all good. It's all good.
So,
Steve's
what
ruined the
were we on
conversation,
about?
hasn't he?
Sorry.
Are you back now? You could have at least said something so we were aware of that.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed.
Okay.
No, it's all good, Steve.
It's all good.
There's trouble shooting stuff happening required.
It's just
Oh,
it's the pre-show. It's just us warming up, doing mic checks. The only reason I
That's what
record
I
it
was-
is because one in 10, maybe a bit less than that. Maybe it's 1 in 15 pre-shows. A fundy will join and it'll be a cracking conversation. But for the most part, you've got to be a pretty dedicated fan of Flat Earth debate to sit through the pre-shows, because for the most part, it's just chit chat, right? You could get that anywhere from anybody doing a live stream when they've not got anything to talk about. Not that we haven't got anything to talk about. It's just warm up time, isn't it?
right.
I love the pre-shows. I think they're the best. I like the chit-chat. I mean, what can I say?
Yeah.
Also, you can kind of...
I love the pre-show.
A lot of people like the pre-show, and I don't personally. And when QE does his live show, and I'm not on it on a Tuesday, a lot of what he does in his opening 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes, sometimes half an hour of his show, will be what we do on the pre-show. Now, that's just naturally how a show will run. But I don't personally like that. I want the show to start live with everyone warmed up, ready to talk about the subject that's above the door on the title of the video. Not, how's your day been? Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, you've been all right? You had a good night's sleep? Yeah, you've been out with the kids? Yeah, I went swimming. Fine chit-chat. Just, for me, that would make me cringe if I started off a live show that I wasn't watching live. In other words, I didn't tune in halfway through and see a good discussion going. I just went to the video after it finished, started it, saw the intro, welcome to Flat Earth Debate, and then you got, how you doing, Neil? You all right? I just tune out immediately.
Yeah, that I think you're right on that. QE, his format's a little bit busted.
He's not a YouTuber, and woe betide me to tell him what he needs to do in terms of production of his show. I'll moan about it as a watcher, as a viewer, because I can. I'm in the chat, and that's what the chat's for, right? So I'll moan about it.
Oh,
Go on, Steve. Or you just hot mic in.
I'm sorry, Nathan. I was hot micing.
That's the 5th sorry you've said to me, you know. I'm sorry too, Steve.
You get yelled at again, Steve. It's trees and mountains.
He won't get yelled at, right? There's always a new slate every day. Same goes for the fundies. I've said it normally. I say it in context of the fundies, right? Doesn't matter what you claim. Following day, remember when Bob the Science Guy came in? He had his ass handed to him. About a week later, he came back in, and it was just, "Hi Bob, how you doing?" It wasn't like, "Have you got this, that, and the other for me?" Now there are certain exceptions to that rule, like Anthony Riley holding the rumpus "Who Will Never Return" to his model that he said he'd make for the observation from St Bees of the north end of the Isle of Man. Well, that, might come up again and again and again and again because it's been overtly stated. But for the most part, it's a clean slate every day here. Except for Arwin, who we have to keep a very short leash on.
Excuse
Oh,
me?
hi, Arwin.
What's up? What's up, Alwyn?
Hello?
He's here. He's here. Quit talking about him.
Oh, is he here? Oh, my bad.
What the fuck is this about a short leash?
Just a joke, because you just got here. So you're like, inferring that we've been talking about you the whole time, which we haven't.
Okay.
Did you end your show early today, Arlen?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. No, I was like, it was a great show, and then like a bunch of baller atheists started whining and ignoring arguments. Then I got pissed off, and then everybody decided, like after I timed them out in my chat, the actual guys all decided to take a 5-minute break, so nobody spoke up for 5 minutes. So I just ended the show as punishment. Because I'm not just gonna sit there frustrated for another 25 minutes without chat interaction. So pay attention or the show ends. But it was a great show other than that.
Outstanding show it was. Yes, indeed.
You were listening to?
Yes.
Your show's about completely driven by the chat, though, the chat feed, right? Like Owen Benjamin does when he has those shows where he just kind of reads the chat feeds and talks to the audience.
Well, not exactly like that, because Owen Benjamin has definitive themes that he does with his shows, but he interacts with chat on top of that. My show is more exclusive interaction with
Yeah,
chat.
but they're annoying, Alwyn. Your chat people, I want to jump through the wires and strangle some of them.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it is a room where also ballers are allowed. So, and they kind of like behave, right? They don't get all whiny and ad hommy and all that, because then they get banned and they know. So it's a really interesting room, but sometimes it's just I don't get it. Like in the middle of the show, and it's like everybody's taking a 10-minute break or something, and it's really frustrating when that happens. Because then I'm just like, just feel like I'm talking to nobody.
Hey, 10th.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
Catch Mitchell's live footage from his drone yesterday.
I didn't, I'm sorry. Didn't catch Mitchell's show yesterday.
Oh, it's great. He's broadcasting on the channel from the drone itself.
Very cool. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, it was great. The images. He changed the battery, I think, twice on it. He made it hover. The Earth wasn't turning underneath. Big surprise. And then he was moving it. And obviously, it's moving, so it's covering real estate. But then when he paused it in a hover position, no real estate was moving on its own underneath. And so he showed the no Earth-based Coriolis with that. And then, yeah, beautiful images in live of the sun and the light on the ocean as exactly what a radius of a GP to you would look like. It was just, the comment section was going nuts.
I've got a video to play in the live stream. So, do you guys know who Rob Durham is?
Yeah, I was alerted to it by Adam, so good.
I know that.
Well, I'm not going to say anything more. I'm just saying good.
Just play along.
Okay. Oh, Nathan, you got a video to play in the live stream.
Oh, God.
Come on, it's a pre-show. We can do what we want, you said.
No, that's the point of the pre-show, to make it clear. Yes, I'm well aware that you've been shared it by Adam, and he discussed what you had discussed with myself last night. I just didn't want to give that clarity. I kind of hoped you'd just play along, and we wouldn't have to disclose that, and it would all seem new and natural, but there we go. Such is life. You're ruining the illusion here, 10th. You know
Look,
that.
here we go. Start off. What video? What's going on?
So Rob Durham's produced a video, which I'm going to queue up now and get it ready to be played. So I'll play it through on the live show. I could play it now, I suppose. I've got... How long have we got left before the live show starts? I could actually play it in its entirety, couldn't I?
We got 15 minutes, yeah.
Got 15 minutes. Just enough to play it, and let's just see if I can make it look pretty first. Yeah. You can talk amongst yourselves. I am just moving things around on a screen. So
Yeah, okay. So, Ted,
Who is he?
Fine. Okay, there we got someone.
hey, Rob Durham's a OG flat earther. He's been around forever, and you might have seen his video doing the gyro in his kitchen, the gyro out of a plane. No, don't worry. Adam will give you a bit more of a history about Rob himself, but the video is what we're going to focus on now. So hopefully, just let me just check that you can all hear it first.
Hi, folks. So today...
Did you hear Rob?
Yeah.
No, did you hear
Pretty
it?
well.
Did you hear it in
very good.
Discord?
No, not in Discord. I can't hear nothing yet.
I can hear it in Discord.
You can?
Who
Okay.
said I hear it in Discord?
The
Chaos.
Stag.
Stag. Okay. Steve, I don't know what to say.
Okay, yeah, I just don't worry about me right now.
Thanks. Right, let's listen.
Today I want to talk about sextant navigation. Now I know the guys over at Flat Earth Debate have been speaking about this for quite some time now, and I wholeheartedly agree with everything that they say, and I'll in fact touch on a bit of what they say at the end of this video. But I want to focus on a different aspect of sextant navigation today, one that's perhaps never been thought of before, perhaps has, but never modelled before, and I'm going to model it. So let's start by begging the question and assuming we're on a sphere, and we want to determine our location on this sphere using a sextant. Now, bearing in mind that we must start with a sphere if that's what we're living on, and all geometry must also work on a sphere if that's what we're living on. Now, in order to do a triangulation using a sextant, we use the Mercator projection map as shown here. But how do we get a flat Mercator projection map from a globe? I'll let this guy explain.
Projection. Popular rectangular maps use a cylindrical projection. Imagine putting a theoretical cylinder over the globe and projecting each of the points of the sphere onto the cylinder's surface. Unroll the cylinder and you have a flat rectangular map.
Okay, so we now know how a projection is made from a globe to a flat map. In this case, the Mercator projection. So we all know that in order to do a sextant triangulation, you need to use a nautical almanac to give you the zeniths of the celestial bodies, and you draw circles of equal altitude from that zenith to determine where they cross and hence where your location is. So for shits and giggles, I'm just going to start by drawing a load of circles all over this map, like so. And then I'm going to take this map and wrap it around a sphere in AutoCAD. And on first glance, everything probably looks normal. Circles look okay. This circle looks okay. But this one, you'll see it's starting to go egg-shaped. And if we go down and look at this one, which reaches to the South Pole, this one gets pointed. So the circles are okay around the equator areas, although they won't be a perfect circle if they're not dead on the equator. And the further north or south they get, the more egg-shaped or even teardrop-shaped they become. And the reason is because when you try to wrap a projected flat map, specifically the Mercator map in this instance, around a sphere, you have excess map. The paper that the map is printed on will not physically wrap around a sphere. You would have to take slices out of the paper on the north and the south to be able to fit the projection back onto the sphere. So it's taken parts of the circle out, in this case, and made a teardrop shape. Okay, with all that being said, I'm going to simulate a couple of sextant readings to try and determine our location on the Earth. So I'm flipping back to the Mercator map, and I'm going to determine two celestial bodies to take my angle measurements to. That being this one and this one. So GP is the geographical position of that celestial body above the Earth at that particular time. So this one, reading from the Nautical Almanac, tells me that the radius of the circle I need to draw is 2,000 miles. This one, the Almanac's telling me I need to draw a 2,500 mile radius circle. And wherever those two circles cross is a possible location that we are on the Earth. So it could either be here or it could be here. If we wanted to determine exactly which one of those it was, we would draw a third, hence triangulation. And it would the circle would either cross this one or it would cross this one. But we're just going to do two on this occasion, and we're going to say that we know where we are. We know we're not on this one. We know we're on this one because we started out in Greenland, let's say, and now we're halfway between Greenland and Iceland. All fine and dandy. We've located our position. But what happens if we want to put this back onto the globe? After all, it must work with the globe if that's what we live on. So here, I've again wrapped the Mercator projection with the circles of equal altitude back around the globe. So we're reverse engineering it here. And as expected, we've got some teardrop shapes going on. Okay, so I've gone ahead and drawn the celestial objects into AutoCAD. They're obviously not to scale, but they're just to give us some angles. So you've got one here right above that GP point, and then one here right above that GP point. Okay, so from the crossing point here, I've drawn a line up to the celestial object, and I've drawn an arc following the surface of the Earth from the GP position to the point where they cross. Now, if you remember earlier, this circle, when we drew it on the Mercator projection, was 2,000 miles in radius. So let's just go and interrogate this arc here to see what the length of this is now. And luckily we can do that by clicking it. You can see it's highlighted. I'm going to select the arc, and then we scroll down here to the properties, and the arc length is 1,750 miles. So quite significantly shorter than the 2,000 miles that it was drawn on the Mercator projection. So let's go and have a look at the other arc. So that one, selecting the arc, scroll down, arc length, 1,415 miles. So even shorter. So almost 600 miles shorter than the circle radius that we drew on the Mercator projection. So I keep saying that if we're living on a globe, then the geometry should also work on a globe, and it is absolutely true. I think a misconception that people have is that a circle of equal altitude on the globe will actually look like this. However, in reality, the red teardrop shapes shown here are directly interpolated from the flat Mercator projection map. And if you look at the positions or the locations that these red teardrop shapes pass through on the Earth, you look at the continents, you'll see that it matches exactly the circles on the Mercator projection map. So there is absolutely no possible way that you can triangulate your position on a globe that has been transposed from a flat Mercator map. So this then begs the question, why are we even drawing circles on the Mercator projection? A circle just seems arbitrary considering it translates to a non-symmetrical shape on a globe with no common radius value. If we are truly living on a globe, then we need to be able to triangulate our position on a globe, and it just doesn't work. The reason we use a flat map, and it works every time, and it has done for the last couple of 100 years, is because the Earth is flat. Okay, to briefly touch on what the guys over at Flat Earth Debate have been saying, we're going to use the same example, so the GP position's here, our position's here where these two lines intersect, and we're going to look at it from an orthographic view. Okay. If we're standing here on the Earth, this is the angle to the celestial body. Let's take a line from our position representing the horizon. The angle formed here is definitely not 90 degrees. And even at the position where it meets the Earth, you can't have a 90-degree angle to a curved surface. And AutoCAD will actually verify this, because if I choose this angular dimension command, I can pick this line and this line, and it will give me an angle between them. If I try to pick this line and this arc, it says here, object selected is not a line, so it just will not give me a dimension. And why would it? How could it? It would be different wherever you picked on that arc. The angle would be different at every single point. So where are you getting your 90 degrees? Where are you getting your straight line to form the 90 degrees? And where are you getting your circle? Nothing seems to work on the globe. Hi folks.
Okay, we've got a couple of minutes if you wanted to comment just before we go live. 10th.
That sounded pretty good. You should post the link in the somewhere for us.
It's a private
But
video
what was
at
his
the
name?
moment. We got permission from
Oh,
Rob to play it. It's not actually published.
Oh, okay, so gotta wait for it then, alright.
Yeah, but I wanted to play it in the pre-show, so he actually used someone else's footage, so I want to check that that doesn't trigger a copyright strike before I play it on the live show, which I may do tomorrow. But for now, I just need the people who are here to be contextually aware of what he's saying in the video, which you now all are, hopefully, if you've been paying attention.
I was about to run him through the coals for not pointing out that you can't have a curved adjacent, but he did that at the end, so that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He showed it in AutoCAD. But did you pick up on what he was talking about, the teardrop shapes, when you reverse engineer a Mercator projection with circles that give you your area of equal altitude and then transpose them back onto a globe?
Yeah, if you beg the question that you could take those measurements on a globe and then you take it, because you got to measure it on a flat plane, transpose it to a globe, then you have to transpose it back to a map, a flat map, which that's 2 times that you've changed the relationships of your measurements. It's going to start getting wonky because you're manipulating the data.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Also below this video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy, and this is of particular note if you drive an electric vehicle. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. One last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Refracted Curvature, Neil, Arwin, Adam Meakin, who did I miss? Righteous Force, and a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
Greetings,
Hello.
greetings, everyone.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, welcome one and all.
Hello, hello.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Any evidence you can have a curved adjacent whilst acquiring an elevation angle?
AutoCAD says no.
Did I fill in the audience on what he's talking about? I think I will, because there was this prolonged silence. Rob Durham has passed on a video to Adam, which was shared with me and 10th Man last night, and he's basically going through the claims that we've been making recently in regards to that most recent housekeeping question that's only been aired 3 days so far, and demonstrating with AutoCAD precisely what we're saying in terms of where'd you get your 90 and you can't have a curved adjacent. He also transposes the Mercator projection, which would be used to acquire circles, that's 2D, of equal elevation, to actually perform a triangulation to figure out where you are on that map. After doing so, he then transposes that back onto the globe and shows how you no longer have circles. You have teardrop shapes with points at the ends of them, further away you go from the equator. It's devastating. Now, as it stands, 2 issues I have. One, he's got someone else's video in there, so I've aired it in the pre-show, and I will check if it does flag any copyrights, but if not, I'll play it on tomorrow's live show. With his permission, which he has given us. But like I say, I just want to check it's not going to flag anything, because I don't want to have to pull the video down for any reason after we've gone to great lengths to discuss it. Given that it has been discussed for the panel's sake in the pre-show, we will discuss it further after housekeeping, but for the meantime, any evidence of physical geometric sphere edge horizons, formerly known as Earth curvature?
Go with the no then.
Pretty
If the
fundamental stuff.
horizon-
Earth curve.
If the horizon isn't geometric, how can it dictate the geometry of Earth?
It can't, and it doesn't. Earth is not a sphere. We would have to have a geometric limitation, or Earth curve edge horizon, if we were, and we don't. We're not on a sphere. Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Gonna need half for that, Nathan.
That it? That's all we're going to... Let's just draw close to the question, I suppose. Any evidence of the distance to the sun? It's okay, Adam, you can say it again.
You're gonna need half of that.
Fair enough. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
That centre would be defined by R, wouldn't it?
Somebody asked me to go over the Curie point in one of the comments. I think it might have even been one of my Patreons, so I better answer the question. When we say self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth, at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth doesn't really need any clarification. But Adam, if you would, why would we add in that terminology about self-perpetuation in this regard?
Well, fundamentally, the Curie point is the point where it describes the collapse within ferric, within iron, of how the magnetic field collapses. Magnetic field is generated by the alignment, and the same. For all the poles of the ions to be aligned in one way, that's what's creating a magnetic field within the crystalline lattice. So when you then turn it molten, that is where the point of the field just disappears, because no longer are the atoms held within a crystalline lattice. They're now starting to move freely like they would be in a liquid. So no longer is this alignment match with all of the things, so you get the dissolution of the field basically at this point. That's how that.
Or to put it in a more succinct way, you wouldn't have a molten iron field beyond the Curie point of that particular metal.
Yeah, because that's what the Curie point is describing, the dissolution, where things are no longer all lined up together because they're no longer held in that orientation.
Okay, but there are
I think
certain...
the phrase would be, it becomes in... See, they've still all got their own little fields, but the correct phrase is that it becomes incoherent, is what's happening. So,
okay, but there are certain circumstances where you can get something beyond the Curie point, in this case molten iron, to still generate a field, right?
I don't think they've managed to do it with iron. The only kind of lab-based stuff that I've seen is I think was with lithium. They managed to maintain. I mean, it was under pressure and all sorts of extra stuff that was maintaining it, but they took it past that Curie point and then was able. But as my memory serves, I don't think it's ever been, or it's even postulated as possible in iron.
Perfect answer. So you've covered all bases. That hopefully is enough to satisfy the person that was asking me to detail it, because we tend to brush past the molten iron core because it's so farcical. But it's nice to get a bit of technical information from yourself, Adam. Very concise, very detailed. Thank you very much. Anybody want to add anything on the molten iron core question?
Need Tony for that, don't you?
Yes and no. I mean, he's good. He's about as concise as you when it comes to detailing it.
Are we not still waiting on Paul Voigt's research on this? From like 5 years ago?
I was going to say from about 2016.
Yeah. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, I think he claimed something like there's obviously physical evidence of the self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing. We're just too stupid to understand it. And then Anthony asked him to produce it. Did that ever happen?
And he's like, I'll be right back. 6 years later, it disappeared completely.
Yeah, right.
They're getting a bit of a to-do list, aren't they, the ballers? You've got Rumpus's projects still to be finished. So seems to be a theme, doesn't it? When you get to the point where they could go ahead and prove some of their assertions, they don't.
All of a sudden, colds and
you stop
pandemics
calling,
and all types of stuff. You know, you start losing your geometric horizon. All of a sudden, you got no flat plates or measure or sextant on a ball. Like, it's crazy. All types of craziness happens when you say, "Hey, I got proof of this." Yep.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
What's that?
Well, you know what? When I was in school...
Beginning of every great horror story.
I'm referring back to that guy a couple of days ago who was actually here looking for Bitcoin, as opposed to the lie told us about here to be educated in flat Earth. After having gravity ripped to shreds and some of his own quotes given back to him, he then went on to reappeal to it by saying, well, I was taught in school that gravity, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, he didn't get to do that. because it was the third time, in case anyone thinks I'm unreasonable. So yeah, when I was in school, they told me it was a force that held us to the ground and we'd fly off if it wasn't for it.
You can't cite your school education as proof. Although he was trying. Although, as I remember, he was citing his education, but when we discussed elastic or the way gas molecules behave, he was reverting back to, oh, it sounds like his school teacher was Hillbilly Blue Balls, doesn't it?
Or a pool player, because he was talking about billiards.
Yeah, it's the same old Thunderfoot ascribed gas go down, go boom boom. Well, gas behaves like these bouncy balls. Gas behaves like billiard balls. You throw one in the air and it comes back down.
On a parabolic flight.
Yeah. You wave your hands in the air and whatever gas that you bash out of the way with your arms, it's just going to come straight back down again. That's what they assert.
They do that. I was going to say they do that because they're homesick. You know, they got to make sure that there's no Coriolis to observe. So they have to keep up with Earth's rotation so they don't, don't want to be home.
The first law of thermodynamics violation. Their assertion after the fact, after the globe belief that you've got a 15 degrees an hour drift that doesn't manifest, that we point out doesn't manifest. They say we wouldn't expect to see drift, and as a consequence of that, they have to claim that the Earth and atmosphere all move together without containment. Well, if that was the case, then a gas would have to leave the ground. It's no longer in any way associated or attached to it, but it's going to increase its velocity with respect to the ground to keep up with it. Ever increasing that velocity as it goes higher, because the radial value, therefore the circumferential distance it's going to have to travel, will increase as it increases in altitude. First law of thermodynamics violation.
Super rotation.
Well, gas doesn't have an association with the ground it's no longer attached to, but in their fantasy world that they have to engineer after they've been shown we don't have Coriolis deflection proving we spin. Here you go, we're supposed to have this 15 degrees an hour drift. It doesn't manifest. Here's an aeroplane with it not manifesting. Here's a hot air balloon with it not manifesting. Here's a drone with it not manifesting. There is no drift. The globe claims wrong. There's no drift to see. And the anti-flat earthers step in and go, we wouldn't expect to see drift. Earth's violating the first law of thermodynamics with its gas that's not contained, violating the second law of thermodynamics, moving in lockstep to give us no effect to see. No effect that the globe claims we would see, says the anti-flat earther.
Did you see an happy birthday for yesterday, Mitchell? Did you see Mitchell's show yesterday live from the drone?
It sounds like it was a really good one. He's the second person to mention it to me, and I didn't actually catch it yesterday.
That was brilliant. He used 2 full batteries. So basically, all the stuff that you were hoping to see when Ranty got his drone, Mitchell finally used this for the same purpose, and it was great to see. But in respect to exactly, lockstep air moving, just seeing that drone and how still it was, it just fixed there.
Sorry, hang on a second.
The impossibilities of a lockstep atmosphere.
You poisoned this by mentioning Ranty. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, I assisted him in a crowdfunding to get a drone. Now, regardless of which side of the fence he sits on, which frankly in this context, a YouTube context, I can give a crap about, he's still a YouTuber who did a YouTube GoFundMe to get a drone. So regardless of what he's claiming alongside the images, he's actually still producing images from his drone though, isn't he? He crowdfunded one.
I don't know, I never saw him. I know that wasn't a direct dig at Ranty. It was more, we'd been waiting for this to see a flat earther with a drone doing bits and bobs.
Oh, okay. Well, it may be the case that you can still get that from Ranty. I just don't want to poison the well necessarily, because as far as I'm concerned, he's done a Ranty, he's done a GoFundMe to get a drone, so therefore he's gone and got a drone. I mean, it was shortly after that I disassociated myself from him, so I don't know. But one would assume that even though he's going to be saying, look, this proves the globe when he sends his drone up, he's still going to have some footage that you can have, to make your point with. I'm sure he's got some, right?
Don't know. I'd not seen it, and that was like I say, well, that was more the point. With this kind of David Weiss has done a little bit, but actually, see, Mitchell's going out there and actually taking readings and stuff that me and 10th are going to start to use.
Awesome.
So it's more like it's been a long time coming. Was my point? It wasn't.
No, I got you. It was a long while ago that we did a GoFundMe to get round to your drone, and then a long period elapsed, and then he changed sides. But in between, I wasn't even keeping in touch with him when he was still a flat earther. I disassociated myself from him long before he switched sides.
We didn't get anything even from that, did we? So that was the point. It's been a long time waiting for, again, the potential to get decent quality information. So we're doing some Horizon bits and bobs, just looking at this dip angle and seeing what effects we've got, with Horizons. Do they move? Do they not move? And just I think Mitchell mentioned last night as well, doing some back calculations. So he's going to take the drone up, take a picture of himself and the horizons with the drone, but also take some sextant measurements of the drone at known heights and distances. So just some
very good
getting to know stuff. Yeah.
So check it out on Mitchell's show. I shall certainly be doing so. Checking out yesterday's live show. Be Here or Be Sphere on the Mitchell from Australia channel. Hopefully you'll all check it out. We interrupt this housekeeping session to say please share the show. 100 people watching. Jolly good. Thank you very much to all of you who have shared to acquire the 100 people that are actually here. But if you haven't already, please share the show. That is the only reason we have an audience at all, because of the people who share the show. So, yep, please smash that share button. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Have they gotten past looking at stuff? Any of that stuff up there? Can they do anything but look at it?
They can name it.
Like astronaming.
Therefore science.
Like astronaming. Like astronomy.
I thought you said any viable hypothesis. I was like, what?
Yeah, that is what I said. Any single
Oh,
viable
yeah,
hypothesis.
that's what he said.
That is exactly what I said. Shocking.
Say it again, Nathan, for those at the back.
For those who are uninitiated in this, it just might go over their head. So back in 2015, 2014, we were all told science proves you're on a sphere. In fact, the whole body of science proves you're on a sphere. Fast forward to 2021. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics. Any.
I thought you said Bible.
Viable, as in not. For an example, when I say viable, I mean if you've got an independent variable in your hypothesis, which it must, then it can't be something that is made up or not capable of manipulation, or not your independent variable, not the presumed cause. It's got to fulfill a certain number of criteria to be classified as an independent variable. So, for instance, if they say, if gravity as an independent variable, then we'll say, hello, you're going to need to show us that. And it's no longer claimed to be a cause, hasn't been for 107 years. It's now claimed to be an effect, but only an effect in a pseudo-Riemannian 4 space dimension that we don't exist in. So that wouldn't be viable, just as an example. But is there any? We were told the whole body of science proves you're on a sphere. Well, there's your science. Where's the hypotheses? Not even asking for an experiment. Come on. Nothing? Really?
There is one person in the chocolate that might be able to provide an answer for that now. Captain Science.
What? Captain Science?
Well, I am science.
I'm science.
Wow, the true embodiment of reification then.
Yes.
Yes, by far.
Go on, Chop.
Okay, who wants to break down what a reification fallacy is? Just for this example, because it's typically used in slightly different contexts, not a person. Normally we're dealing with people who reify models into reality, right? But go on, Chocolate.
The fallacy of misplaced concretedness, meaning giving reality to something that's not reality?
Hypothesization. Very difficult word to say.
Basically, yep.
So in this case, science is a method. It doesn't have lips, it doesn't have lungs, it's not capable of speech, it's just a method of inquiry. It has a process, steps, that must be fulfilled. That's what science is. So if you say, I am science, that's reification.
It's also a sign of desperation, of you clinging on to the supposed authority you thought you had. So we have in the flat earth realm, we've got great examples of that, rumpus getting to the point, the whole body of science. But in society, and this is the point, it's happening now in the real world as somebody who's been giving advice for treatment of certain things, and his rhetoric is falling apart. He's descended to that same level of ad hom to his critics and made this statement. I think Chocolate probably phrased it, be able to word it exactly. He was showing it this yesterday, but we've been saying it's interesting how the stuff we've learned on this flat earth journey, the debating, you're listening now in the mainstream and you spot the same rhetoric being used.
Yep. It's so relevant. Especially when you got a clown like that saying things like, well, I represent science, right? So if you go against me, everybody that goes against me, well, you're not really going against me, you're going against science because that's what I represent.
Right.
I mean, the
it's a magic
audacity
trick
of this guy.
It's a magic trick that offers them a certain degree of power if to the uninitiated, or it's not even the uninitiated, because I'm going to break down the steps that gets people to this stage of reification to employ the power, which is actually magic, of this language being scientific vernacular. So at a very early age, you're taught what science does, empirically proves things. So just to give a very brief summary, the method itself has a null that is the complete antithesis of your prediction of cause. So you predict that A causes B. You also have a null, which is you predict A does not cause B. At the end of experimentation, only one can be proven, and while some will assert science doesn't prove anything, that's all it can do at the end of the experimental stages. I.e., you can either prove that A does cause B, or it does not. Both can't simultaneously be true, so it proves things. You taught that at a very early age. Sorry to give the little segue, but it is worth it. Further to that, once you are well and truly under the understanding that science means proof, you're in your Western world education and immediately then ferried away from that into a doorway that's got science over it and taught about things like heliocentrism. A lot of maths is also taught under the banner of science. It's not, but that's what you'll be very quickly taught after you're completely aware that science means proving things. So then when you're in the banner of a science classroom, you're under the misapprehension that things that are being discussed are proving things. Now, as life goes on and people progress into positions and PhDs and doctorates and all the rest of it, they then take on this embodiment of the idea that anything that they preach and say means science, means proof. Because they're aware that when they say the word science, people respect and pay attention to what they are saying. Along comes us, pointing out that there's a reification fallacy involved when you say you are science, when it's actually a method of empirically validating the cause of an effect. It's incredibly narrow. But that narrow proof-based methodology can be used as a magic trick to assert that when you do some maths, you're actually doing some science, and that will leave the person who's relatively uninitiated because they were not kept up to speed with what science is, in fact quite the reverse, leaves them to believe that whatever they've told you with whatever maths they've presented is science, and it simply isn't the case. Lots of people are guilty of it. Most people are completely unaware of that use of a magic trick. Some people cotton onto it and they get told that they're utilising a magic trick because they haven't actually validated cause and effect relationships with hypothesis-based experiments, and then they rebel against it because they know that they're going to lose their power, because that's what it offers. You know, having a PhD at the end of your name and then saying this is science will mean that people will respect what you say. often just believe it carte blanche. That's my jibber jabber over about the indoctrination process and why people will claim they've got science or even claim they are science because it gives them power, misplaced power. So, no single viable hypothesis from any of these heliocentric punting nonsense-based departments, then? Moving on. Any evidence of the R value? That'd be Earth radius. No, you can't say you're going to need R for that, Adam, but you can say it if you want to.
No. I was trying to think of something witty to say, because I was about to say that and then realised, well, that's nonsensical.
Well, no, I'd got something lined up if you did say it. That's why I was kind of hoping you...
Oh, okay, then. You're going to need R for that.
Oh, what, like Rufy? When he uses R to derive R to give you a new R that's based on a refracted R? That kind of use of R to get R.
That's very useful, yeah. I suppose, yeah. If you've already got R, it's a lot easier to backwork calculations to show R. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need a geometric horizon for that, though, aren't you?
Well,
why would they be looking? Why would they be looking for R if it didn't exist?
It only exists in the maths. Seriously, that's what they've told us. That's your answer. It only exists in the maths.
So the geometric horizon, the one that we were told for years and is still being told to kids today, is that blocks boats and buildings in the distance, that only exists in the math.
Yes. For clarity, to summarise, Earth curve, that would be the geometric horizon, the very thing they claim blocks boats and buildings and give you a clarity value without perspective in feet and inches for how much things are blocked by the geometric horizon. That would be Earth curve, only exists in mathematics. That means it does not exist in physical reality.
Therefore, it's only a thought experiment.
Being on a globe is just an idea. That's right. It's an idea of how you might perceive the world. You can have this idea based on a model of how the world could be perceived. And that idea is that you're on a spherical surface. Unfortunately, there is no geometric horizon, and you'd have to have one of those if you were actually on a sphere. We're just not. And everything we measure, move around with, and experience in day-to-day life shows us that it is in fact flat. That would be Earth.
Maybe we should just take some geometric considerations.
Yeah.
And that'll bring the geometric horizon into fruition.
With regards to Rufy's proof and the geometric horizon, it is imperative that the horizon is geometric, yeah, in Rufy's proof of R, which he starts with R. But that is a fundamental of the maths that he's using. It is the defining statement of what you're going to derive, is that horizon is the leading edge of a ball. Right, you just laugh on your black swan. Yeah, that is its premise. The whole premise for the maths to work is that the horizon is the leading edge of a ball of radius 3959.
Yes, and you'll need a geometric horizon for that. But just moving back to what Chocolate just said, in terms of taking geometric considerations, that's correct. If you dig far enough into the heliocentric priesthood and rhetoric, by then you'll borderline anti-flat Earth, by the way, then you'll find that the geometric considerations must be taken when you're well aware of how flat Earth is. Yep, only exists in the maths. You can take it as under geometric consideration that you're on a sphere, though. Obviously, that's not in physical reality. Go ahead, whoever it is.
Oh, I was going to say, the logic behind it, too, would be an affirming the consequent. Even if the horizon appeared to be geometric in all of our observations, it would still just be an affirming the consequent. It wouldn't prove anything.
What you're saying is if we did have a geometric horizon... I don't follow.
If the horizon appeared to be geometric, we still measured everything flat. Even if it appeared to be geometric, it's still an affirming the consequent when you put it into a logical consistency.
I see. Yes, you're correct. Well, that is what they do. So that is the claim, right? So the claim is an affirming the consequent. If the Earth is a sphere, we'll see a geometric horizon, a limitation to our view. We do see a limitation to our view. Therefore, Earth's a sphere.
It's just that affirming the consequent failed, and that's how you got the black swan.
Yeah, but that statement doesn't hold up very well after somebody says to us that the only way you could see the geometric horizon is if the atmosphere disappeared magically somehow or another. So how is this atmosphere that's never done that, how is that working out? Since it's always here and it's always causing light to be refracted always everywhere all the time. How does that work?
It doesn't. That's the essence of the black swan. They need a geometric limitation to their view at radius 3959. That would be Earth curve. Without Earth curve, there's no Earth curve.
The Earth curve that, aka geometric horizon, that 5 minutes we established ago that only exists in the math. That's
correct. Yeah. The one that only exists in the maths actually does only exist in the maths. Like, in reality, we don't have Earth curve. It just exists in mathematics. Last but by no means least, for all of you who are thinking, oh, we got pictures from space, haven't we? Why would we need to confirm any of this from the ground? You're all just idiots. We've seen Earth from space. Any evidence we can have gas pressure? That would be the air we're breathing in and out of our lungs, without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon.
No, but I have a question, because Chocolate said if the atmosphere disappeared. Well, their atmosphere has disappeared because we don't have sphere-shaped air, correct?
Correct.
So we should see it then.
If the sky was a vacuum, we'd all be dead, Neil.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're going to need
maybe
parabolic
we're dead
gas
now and just
behavior.
still debating.
Sorry, Chop.
Hold on, we've got a Bitcoin gag. Go ahead.
Bitcoin gag. I said you're going to need parabolic gas behavior for that.
Maybe you didn't realise, Adam. The guy who came was after Bitcoin.
Oh. Such a spaz. It's because I talk in crypto with Chocolate. Sorry, I thought wrong trade, but no, that's basically the crux of how they're contorting and trying to remove the necessary antecedent by denying, in this case, denying gas behavior and describing it as parabolic.
Yeah, it's parabolic manoeuvre as assuming that you've got sphere-shaped air, and the reason it's sphere-shaped, it's like, yeah, more than anything else, the moment they say atmosphere, then they've got sphere-shaped air. All right, arbitrarily formed sphere shapes, does it? Can you show us that? Oh, well, yeah, look, there's the sky. And I assume we're on a sphere, and I assume we're in a vacuum, so therefore, there you go. Sphere-shaped air in a vacuum. Any problems? No? Yeah. That violates the second law of thermodynamics. If the sky was a vacuum, it'd be a vast space for that gas to fill, and fill it must. It's called entropy.
I'm just wondering why Adam isn't able to coin a phrase since he talks crypto.
My head's in bits.
Anyway, I think I'm having an effect on my son, Nathan, because last night at dinner, he no longer told me how the Earth is a sphere. He told me Earth is hollow. So that's his new thing now. So I think he understands that Earth is flat, but now he's looking for another get around flat Earth. So he's telling me all about this hollow Earth theory.
Let me get it straight. Your son's looking into Dick Earth.
Correct. Hollow Earth.
Yeah,
Hey, Neil.
They got relabeled in 2017. I can't remember who it was to give credit, but basically this whole new religion that was basically just just Dick Earth. Transposition of a concave assertion. So as soon as any concave would come into the room, you'd be like, I believe in Dick Earth. Obviously, it's a difficult theory to swallow, but, you know, I still believe.
Oh, gosh. I didn't know that.
I almost forgot about the concavers. Now, that's the reverse curvature. Anybody got signs of reverse curvature?
Yeah, the inverse bend law.
Oh, there you go. Oh my God, people! So people don't think that other people and things and places and water all exist antipodal underneath their feet. Now they think that's happening above their heads.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Hello, Black Swan proves Dick Earth.
Facts.
I think Black Swan kills curvature either way. Whether curving up or curving down, it kills either way.
Absolutely. I love saying the same exact things to the concavers. You're going to need R for that. Yeah, they don't like having to refute the exact same rebuttals that the Black Swan provides for a globe Earth. The concavers don't like that one bit, because they're basically treated like globers at that point, aren't they?
The concavers have got a bit of... They've spotted that light isn't bending down. That if you look at J. Tolan Media's work, you'll see if it does anything, and even the Lake Balaton data, if you look at that, if light does anything across the flat plane, it bends up a little bit. So that would be the excuse, I would think, for the son to tell him to go look at the, I say, Lake Balaton data for your son if he wants to evidence towards it. But again, all of this is optical. We're trying to assign optical effects and trying to designate that as a function of the surface, which is odd when we know it's optical. But I think with regards to what you were saying, Nathan, yeah, I mean, the Black Swan does. Because if you're going to put a bend, whether it's up or down on it, it's not going to follow that perspective law. You're going to see the bend, especially at those sorts of distance, it play out. And yeah, so I'm afraid, yeah, concavers, Black Swan.
To their credit, and I said this on a previous show when I was moaning about people attacking people on our own side, was to say that they're a lot further along a road that normie General Joe isn't on at all. So, you know, they're obviously going to be acutely aware that there's a deception at play, and probably have investigated various different aspects of their general normie life to find out that they're not true also. That is typically the case with most of the concavers I've ever had any interaction with whatsoever, and they're also quite boastful of how they're exposing various different lies better than the flat earthers do. So you're like, okay, so you're on this tip. There's no two ways about that. And that's a more extreme version of, you know, me saying, you know, why are we attacking flat earthers? Because they think incoherent dielectric acceleration gives them a downward bias. Who cares? You know, at least they've recognised that there's a massive amount of deception in the world. So therefore, they're so much closer to us on the path we're on than normies at the top of the hill throwing rocks down at us, calling us idiots, that surely they're just not worth our time. And in many ways, the same applies to concavers. You're like, why would I dedicate any time to this? I'm not going to change the Western worldview by debating with a concaver. And it's nice to be able to just put an end to the discussion pretty quickly.
Is it? Just
so
to
hold
bring
on,
back
my
to you,
son.
Nick.
So wait, should I be happy that my son
Yeah.
is a concaver?
No, well, this is what I was going to say. I think, you're making progress, right? He's clearly recognised that the ball rhetoric is incorrect. He probably just can't quite bring himself to maybe agree with his dad fully yet. But he'll get there, won't he? So if he's got to embrace a bit of concavity to reject the ball first, at least he's recognising the errors in the ball, even if he's, maybe he's just not necessarily wanting to fully agree with you at the dinner table just yet. No.
See, but with that, I don't think he's recognizing the errors in the ball, because with hollow, it's still a ball, right? But I think the important part of that is that he's letting go of the mainstream, because hollow is obviously not mainstream, but far more mainstream than flat earth. right? Well, I couldn't even say that, to be honest. Not
No,
nowadays.
you can't.
But
Exactly. You can't. So while you're focused on getting him to understand and appreciate the nature of reality from that aspect, that would be a flat plane, and he's not, there's going to be cursory things that you've not even given the slightest bit of attention that are going to be going across his path just because he's around what you're looking at. Now, you might not be forcing the issue with various other things that are being discussed in this arena, and therefore he just hears them and goes, yeah, okay, hell. You know, enough to go, I'm going to look at other alternatives. It's like, to me, what you've described today is a breakthrough with your son. Now, you might be going, oh, but it's concaver. Well, just have a bit of fun with him. Like we have, Dick Earth, etc.
Concavity solves one of the housekeeping questions, doesn't it? Because if you think of that one, it's everything's inside of a sphere.
Gas
So
pressure.
You've at least got containment. So the question of how do you have gas pressure, maybe that's why he's thinking, well, that's possible.
That's what they throw at me in the chat. That is exactly what they throw to me. Yeah, we don't have that problem with gas pressure without a container now, do we? Concave Earth for the win. And you're like, yeah, okay, you're going to need half of that. But, you know, yeah, nice that you've recognised that you need containment for gas pressure. And yeah, your model that you've reified into existence, concave though it may be, doesn't have that problem. What that problem that is irrelevant on a model? Not really a problem for globe Earth either, is it now, given that the Western world all believes that you can have gas pressure without a container stuck to the side of a sphere in a vacuum? So is it really a problem that that doesn't work in the model for the globe Earth, but does work for your model, given that the Western world have kind of ignored that? So no, not really. They're both models that you've reified into existence, and you actually think you're stood on the inside of the model, don't you? Yeah, you're not. Meanwhile, an aspect that doesn't tell
What
us
do you
about the
call
shape of the Earth, an aspect is that it's flat, demonstrably flat.
They also don't have to
What do you
worry
call
about the molten iron
concave
core.
Dick Earth? I'm a little confused about that.
No, Dick Earth isn't anything to do with concave. It's just the next evolution. You know, I was once there. I was once a concaver.
Okay.
Now I've progressed to Dick Earth. You might progress too if you're a concaver. You're just not with us yet. You'll be there soon.
Did you ask the gravity question already?
I did.
Dang it. Never mind.
Look, everybody's got a bit of concave in them. You know, Arwin drops it in subtly so people don't give him crap. And really, we've all got a bit of concave in us. We've all got a bit of Dick Earth in us. You know, Arwin's talking about circumdicular navigation. He drops that in so people know subtly, without having to challenge him on it, what he's talking about. And, you know, I think we're all going to have to just come clean now. If you're a Dick Earther, just come clean. I'm proud. Arwin, just come clean. Everyone needs to know. There's transparency needed here.
All right. By the way, I'm having a night owl show this evening to save the early bird show. So if anybody's interested, starting in 2 hours and 20 minutes from now, if I don't get enough funds in support in some way this evening, I will literally not be able to pay my rent this month, and that means I'm going to be kicked out of the house, and the early bird show is going to halt forever.
Do you mind?
For
This is
your
my
information.
street corner. I'll be the one e-begging here, bitch. Get off my corner.
Yeah, it's very funny, except it's real, right? This is not my monitor breaking down or my fridge. This is literally me going to get kicked out of the house if I don't get enough funds together.
Fair enough. So you're going to run a little night owl show and raise some funds for rent. Fair enough.
Pimp it properly then, Owen.
But I think people would appreciate some transparency before you do that in terms of your affiliation with Dick Earth.
Well, you know, if you go by the micro-macro concept, well, so many people on Earth are dicks, so that the Earth would be literally a dick in itself only makes sense.
That was pretty much the thing that progressed me on from concave Earth. I agree.
What time are you going to have your show, Arwen?
2 hours and 15 minutes from now.
Stealing my slot.
Just, you can join me too.
I'm live from India at 5:30. So I'll come and join you later on, but
okay, got a better time? You know, it's not like it's set in stone already.
Well, no, I'll come and I'll be there in chat. I might super chat you a little bit, but
Because
That's a
I
bit
don't
early.
want to, like, there's so many shows and I don't want to, like, move all over everybody. But I got to pick a time somewhere, and it can't be in the middle of the night because I'll just be too toasty to do anything.
You'd be better off doing it after Flat Earth School. I will get Mitchell to send people over as well and do it.
What time is that?
I'll be just after 8, won't it, when Mitchell finishes?
Oh,
So
okay.
8 till 9 for you, isn't it, at Mitchell's?
That would be 9, probably.
Yeah,
to
9
10.
for you, then.
All right, I'll do that.
Okie dokie. Fortunately, we'd finish housekeeping anyway, so no issues. But yeah, join Arwin for his Night Owl show on the Arwin channel. ARWIJN. Be here or be sphere.
So, Nathan, you got 15 minutes left in the live show. What are you going to show us?
I've showed it in the pre-show when you were
I
around.
thought weren't you going to test something and see if you're going to show it now or not?
No. Once I upload... Okay, for the audience's benefit, in the pre-show I played Rob Durham's video, but he's used someone else's material, so I just want to upload it once the after show's finished. So the members only show, if there's an issue with it, I'll know not to play it on the live show. Do you know what I mean? So I might play it tomorrow. But watch the space. I'm sorry to be cryptic with the audience. For the audience's benefit, this wasn't intended to be cryptic, but we've got permission to play a video where, using AutoCAD, Rob Durham basically breaks down our claims that we've been making. And it's not for a very long period either. It's for the last 3 days, in terms of a concise housekeeping question at least, and the last year in terms of us talking about the sextant. But that's sort of culminated into a concise summary, which was agreed with by Rob Durham, but with, a nice pictorial example of how it does match up with what we're saying, so you can see that visually. Very good. Also, he points out how you can't not transpose the circles of equal altitude back onto a globe. It doesn't work, which is a massive revelation. Awesome new information that I was completely unaware of until Adam shoved it under my nose. Now, I won't quote the filth that Adam said in the way he phrased how excited he was about this particular piece of information, but needless to say, he was very excited.
Yes, I was. Have you seen it, Arwen? I think you'll like it as well. Particularly as the way it works on a Mercator map, it's going to mess with your head, because it's almost like, if you take that works, then we've got a rectangular looping model. Is the easiest solution.
Just had an idea. Owen, have you got the ability on your show to play video and audio?
What do you mean?
Can you play a video on your show and have the audience see and hear it at the same time?
Well, it would be like just a video screen, but yeah, the sound usually does come through fine.
Fine,
when
as in through your microphone. Does it come through?
No,
the
as in great, as in perfectly fine without any kind of issue.
We play it through
I just play a window from the browser.
I've got a suggestion. If you're happy to play a video in your stream and know that it will be of sufficient quality, then I would suggest that you get the exclusive on it. Rob's given us, that's all of us. We are Flat Earth Debate, you are Flat Earth Debate, and correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, he said, yeah, if you can play, or Flat Earth Debate can play. God, I'm being really weaselly with words. I hope he's not watching.
I think Rob will be, and I don't think you'd have any issue with that information going out tonight on Arwin's show as something for the fundraiser. I think that would be great.
Sure. I'll do anything, right?
Well, just hear us out then.
Go on naked, but
just hear
I'll
me
get
out
you
then.
guys on. I'll play a video. I'll promote your channel. I'll do whatever it takes.
No.
Just
hear me out, Arwin. What you will be doing is presenting what we've discussed on the show. I don't know if you were here when we played it just before. I think you joined just after we'd played it. Maybe, I can't remember. Either way, it will be aired for the first time by you. It's a video that hasn't been published yet, and we've discussed at length on this show. But it means that a public audience, as opposed to my members or whatever, get to see it for the first time on your show. Now, you're a major part of this, like everyone else who's on the panel regularly. And therefore, it would be nice, as you've got something to offer as an exclusive, to have that for a reason for people to go. Because there's going to be people who are like, I'm not interested in going e-begging, and I'm the same when I say it to my audience. I appreciate that there's plenty who like my information and like the audience and like the chat and like the panel and like the topic, but they don't like giving me money. Fine, that's all right. I only want the people who want to give me money to give me money. If you're not one of them, that's fine. And you won't be someone who goes to Arwin's stream. However, if Arwin's got an exclusive video that's very, very well sorted and interesting and controversial and globe destroying, then that may get people to just come to your stream, and they might smash the share button for you, which might get you somebody who does want to give you money. So I would say play that video as an exclusive, and I'll plug it now if you're going to say, yeah, I'll definitely play it as an exclusive, and then that'll hopefully drive an audience to your fundraiser, if that makes sense.
Okay, sure. I'll do it.
Cool. So be here or be sphere for Arwin's exclusive Rob Durham expose, which he's kindly given Flat Earth Debate, which obviously Arwin is part of. Rob, if you're watching, I know I'm a weasel. I'm a total weasel. But Arwin will play it, and you can go and see that for the first time on Arwin's show. If you're watching this now, there's 125 people watching. So if you smash the share button, thanks. If you haven't, please smash the share button here. But go and check it out. It'll be in a couple of hours, just over 2.5 hours, on ARWIJN, that's Arwin's YouTube channel. And hopefully he'll tease you a little bit and then play it out, and maybe, you'll throw him a buck or two to help him out in the meantime.
How do you spell his name? Rob?
Durham.
Duram?
HAM.
HAM, yeah. We'll send you the link, though, Arwin.
Okay. I got it. Because now I put it in the title. So.
Right on. So as a what would you call it? A teaser. Here's a bit of a teaser of what Arwin's going to be playing to you.
I want to talk about sextant navigation. Now, I know the guys over at Flat Earth Debate have been speaking about this for quite some time now, and I wholeheartedly agree with everything that they say, and I'll...
That's all you need to hear.
Perfect.
There we go.
Cool.
So you will get the full exclusive 9-minute video over on Arwin's show later on today. So be here or be sphere. That's enough plug for you, Arwin. Get off my corner.
Thanks.
Only I get to e-beg here.
I gotta admit, nobody promotes your channel like you, Nathan.
Or like Arwin. Arwin spends plenty of time sending his audience over to me and talking about the show and talking about what we do here. So, gotta
Every
return the
single
love.
show, yeah. Every single show.
Exactly. I hope you get some good support. We have got an excellent community in that regard, and I often put my hand out and disclose that I make a living from doing this, and sometimes doing it as a living isn't great because it doesn't always make ends meet. So I can totally relate. Anywho, back to the guy who lied to us about wanting to learn. That seems like such an outrage the more I think about it. On the one hand, I'm so grateful that he was like that because I was much more even-tempered with him, which made the show a lot more airable, listenable, whatever. There's a lot less tyranny than there might have been if he'd just disclosed, I'm here because I've fulfilled the criteria for DITRH's 3 confirmed Bitcoin, a life-changing sum of money.
I texted David last night. He was in the Globebusters chat last night, and I did say, "Is that the best quality you've got? What you sent over? We want more of a challenge."
Death.
Well, at least people that are honest of what they're there for.
Yeah. And then again, I've been quite open about the fact that I will have very little tolerance for the people who are here trying to get Bitcoin.
I think the next person that comes in going, "I'm here to learn," gas go down, go boom booms, going to get rumbled a bit quicker than the last the last guy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
So nobody saw the video from Globebusters.
Oh, God, here we go.
Yeah.
That sounds ominous.
Gas does go down, go boom boom, Nathan.
Oh, God.
You didn't see the video, eh?
No. Do you want to fill me in?
Where does
I
it do
figured that
that?
was my perfect cue to just open my mic and let you guys know that gas goes down, goes boom, boom. And you need to watch the video.
Just tell us. You're now playing devil's advocate for this claim.
Oh, he shows how gas goes down, goes boom, boom. You're going to have to watch it, bro.
Just tell us.
Well, he uses a couple different gases. He calls you guys retarded. He uses sulfur hexafluoride, of course, showing that one. He also uses an old little trick, I guess we used to do in school. I don't remember, but I probably did do it. Vinegar and I think it's cornstarch or corn.
They're gases, are they?
I think it's like carbon.
So you mix them together, right? And it creates.
Baking soda.
You mix them together. You mix them together, and it creates a. I guess they're saying carbon dioxide, and then you just pour it out. And they were just pouring gas into different containers, and then pouring them out, and putting out candles with it, and just pretty incredible stuff. They were also showing electrostatics, where this dude was putting out candles with his fingers because he was charged. Very interesting video. I never thought I would ever come in here and say Bob Canotto is crushing you. But guess what?
Hey, hold on. Hold on.
He's
No. Hold on, John. Hold on. Hold on.
He's not.
Hello, triggered people on my panel. Hello. Go on, Harp. Was there anything you wanted to summarise? Feel free. You're saying Bob Noodles handing us her own ass. How sweet. You want to summarise? If that's it, that's it. Fair enough. Harp, go ahead.
I saw it. Watched the video. I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had this feeling. I just checked my notifications because I didn't see anything, and it does that sometimes. And I'm like, oh, Globebusters. This is an interesting title. I bet you he's talking about gas and statics, and I was damn right. So by 4:33 a.m., I had it posted in the chat here already.
Okay, my only question to you is this: do you agree? Because you intimated.
I saw what was happening, and I can't refute it.
So you think you saw gas go down, go boom, boom, right?
You want me
I've
to
been
refute
seeing
it?
it. Here's the thing.
Hold on,
Gas does go down.
Just let Harp have his moment.
Gas
Go ahead,
does.
Harp. Nobody interrupted.
Gas
Go ahead.
does go down. Gas does go down. I've been watching that happen. I know it just separates and does it. That is, I don't see the gas afterward. So to say that gas does not go down, go boom boom, is retarded.
Oh wow!
Because it actually does go down, go boom boom. Now it may not stay that way.
Hold on.
But it does do
Hold
it.
on. It may not stay that way. That's a bit of a disclaimer.
That's correct.
Stay that way. So
Yeah,
how
I
did
think
it?
it spreads out.
How did it get that way? We'll have to find out in the after show. So with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you first and foremost to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. If you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned as there will be an after show. We'll find out how retarded we are in terms of gas go down, go boom boom. However, if you are watching live, this is where we bid you farewell. So a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you. Smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on a premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
What a lovely day!
So I think we're both talking about the same thing, but the way we're wording it is how we're not meeting at the middle. So I
Hey,
think that's the issue.
Righteous, let me ask you a question just on what you just said. This gas, whatever gas that they use, where was it created? At 30,000 feet?
Hey, hang on. That was what I asked before the end of the live show. Don't ruin the ending. Don't get there straight away. We're talking to Harp, who agrees, right? We're all retards, because you've shown gas going down, go boom boom. Right?
Yeah, but it's obvious Harp came with strings attached.
Can we just get clarity? Is this the Action Lab blowing bubbles in a cylinder and then throwing it to the ground, moving it to the ground?
Can I?
He's summarised. Hold on. Before we all pile in, one at a time, Brian. I'm sorry. So far, he's summarised. He said putting out candles. He said creating carbon dioxide, and he said sulfur hexafluoride. Those are the 3 examples. Unless Harp wants to add any more, obviously we're retards and, it's hard to remember stuff that he's told us. So do you want to tell us again if there's anything more besides the ones I've summarised, Harp? Thank you, by the way. I could kiss you if I'm honest. Oh, I've got an issue with Discord. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we got all those puddles in vacuum chambers. That's got to be true.
Can you just try that again? Hold on. Can I just try and see if I can get hold of Harp? Because I had a... Go ahead.
I don't understand. What the hell's going on?
I've got it. I had an issue. I couldn't get the line back open.
Okay. Can you hear me fine now? Because I even turned my fan off.
Thank you. Great cliffhanger to leave the live show on, by the way. Thank you.
Excellent, Harp.
Excellent cliffhanger. I love it.
I have no more gas pressure in here, so.
Okay, so did you hear what I asked just before I rounded up the live show?
No, I didn't.
10th, now's your moment. You might as well.
Had an issue.
Well, it might be Harp for him to understand, so I'll pass it on to you.
You said, where did the gas pressure come from in the first place? We're going to try and lead you. You're on our side, so I'll just tell you where we're going with this, Harp. To how do you get to the position where you've got the disequilibrium that's going to disperse? So we're trying to go back before the demonstration. In other words, what's the state of the gas prior to the demonstration? What's it doing? How does it get to be demonstrated in that manner?
They're in tanks. They're closed containers, obviously. To have sulfur hexafluoride make a tinfoil boat float.
Sorry, why are they? Why? Why are they in sealed containers? It's going down anyway, right? It's just going to stay in a wheelbarrow. Why would it need to be wheeled in a sealed container if it's going down? The point they're making is as it goes down, go boom boom. So why would we need this? Why do you need a top on the? I know you're keen as devil's advocate, but I still need to annihilate this horseshit. I'm sorry, Harp. Yeah, don't do an Arwin on me. Come on, let me annihilate it.
Hey, I'm going to advertise for my show.
Everybody, can you clear out? I've nearly finished. I'll pull my pants up after the dump. I've got to do the dump first. Okay? Thanks. Yeah. So why would you need to wheel it in a sealed container when it's going down? Obviously, like bricks, you don't need to put a sealed top on a wheelbarrow with bricks in it because they go down. We all understand they're heavier than air. They're displacing the air and they always will. So you don't need to wheel things that go down, go boom boom in sealed containers. That makes no sense, Harp. Maybe you can explain it to me. Obviously, we're retards, right?
Right. So listen now, right? So you have a big container. And if you don't have the top on and you start wheeling it, and the air is going to disturb that gas in the container and it's going to screw it all up. But once you set it quietly, you can open the lid. You still have the contained gas in there. It doesn't jump out and go in all directions. It just sits right there.
Oh, does it not? So it stays there like bricks, does it? Because earlier you disclaimed that it will disperse. Now you're saying it won't disperse after you take the top off?
It will eventually disperse, yeah.
So it jumps out. So it jumps. So let me get it right. Disperse, given that down is what's being claimed, would be up then.
Not necessarily.
Sorry,
sideways.
how does it? Sorry,
Really?
it's in a tank. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it only goes down, it's not going to get out. The only way is up if it's escaping, right? So therefore up. You've said no because you've called me a retard and agreed with Bob Nodell. But
Yeah, no,
in
you're
fact,
right.
up, right?
Yes, you're right.
Oh, so that would take the biggest steaming horsefly-laden shite on Bob Nodell's claim then.
Don't get the point, do you?
What, that it's going
Point
up?
is-
Sorry, you've just confirmed going... Sorry, let me just clarify. You do understand you've just
It starts
confirmed
dispersing. I don't know what it does.
going up.
Start dispersing.
Just chanting through me because obviously you've aligned with this claim of horseshit nonsense that you've also confirmed the gas will be dispersing. That would be going opposite of the claim. That would be up. Not down, go boom boom, but escaping up away from the vector they're claiming in this instance, making the claim horseshit. You are clear on this now, or maybe a third repetition there, Harp? Maybe you're retarded.
So once again, you don't get the point.
Sorry, telling me I don't understand now, are we? I don't understand your affirmation of going up. I'm pretty understanding that you said up to disperse. It would be going up, away from the claim that's being made, annihilating the claim of down, go boom boom. Tell me I don't understand again, Harp.
In all directions.
Sorry, guy who's told me I'm retarded. Do you want to tell me I don't understand for a third time?
You guys just done talking. Thank you. Please.
Yeah, maybe get triggered. Tell me I don't understand again.
You keep talking over me, man. What the hell?
Yeah, I do, don't I? With my winning argument when you've confirmed that the gas is going to be escaping and that would be moving up away from the down go boom boom claim that's being made when you told me I was retarded. Yeah, I'm going to definitely get those words through to my audience. No doubt about that.
It's cool. Gas goes down.
When it's not going up away from the down, up like you confirmed. Remember, Harp? Remember when you said it was going up, dispersing out of the containment? You also confirmed that when it was wheeled in, it needed to be sealed, otherwise it would interact with the air. That would also be up. So, sorry, do you want to tell me again how retarded I am for not understanding that gas go down, go boom boom?
Okay, so you can literally pour gas downward. Now,
From a pressurized container that stopped it dispersing into the air. Yeah. From a pressurized container, right?
From a cup. You can pour gas into a cup.
How did it get into the cup? Didn't we cover this already when we asked you how it arrived at this state? So you'd have to get it from something into the cup. How did it arrive in the cup? Did it get wheeled in the cup? They brought in the gas in cups, right? It was all delivered in cups. Is that the laugh of a fundy? Yeah, did you find yourself aligning with a fuckwit called Bob Nodell? And then calling me a retard? Only to be chuckling like the fundy fuckwits that we deal with who also call us retards. Do you regret calling me a retard there, fuckwit Harp? I'm going to now call you a certified fuckwit, Harp. How do those balls taste? Just for the audience, Harp's a flat earther. And I'm asking him how my nuts taste when I describe the gas not coming in cups. Laugh for me, Harp.
How dare you, Nathan?
Do you want to laugh for me again, Harp? Do you want to laugh for me?
This is funny because you're not getting the point.
Sorry, gas came in cups, right? It was delivered to the environment in cups, Harp. You're yet to answer.
Yeah, it was on a table, and if you can go to a restaurant and order a cup of gas, yeah.
Sorry, so they delivered this in this scenario in cups, or did it have to get from a pressurized container into the cup to start the example?
Why are you not getting this point?
Oh, it's I don't understand again, is it, Harp? I am pretty sure you're regretting calling me a retard in line with Bob Nodell right about now, aren't you, Harp?
Not really. No.
Not really, because they delivered the gas in cups, didn't they, Harp? Yeah.
Can you pour gas or not?
Well, maybe it's time for a question from me. It seems like even flat earthers follow the exact same fundamental properties of anybody who's being challenged on nonsense they've asserted along with an ad hom that I'm retarded. Yeah, I'd ask me a question rather than answering the question about whether the gas got delivered in cups.
I think Harp is looking at both of you guys' perspective, and he's like agreeing with like a little bit from him and a little.
Meanwhile, was the gas delivered in cups, Harp?
Obviously not.
I don't even understand.
Obviously not. So, obviously, if it was going down, you wouldn't need sealed containment, though, Harp. Obviously needs something to seal it in to stop it going up. Because if it wasn't going up, you could just deliver it in cups. But they don't do that, Harp, because gas also goes up.
So you're saying...
No, you are saying you told me about how it disperse up. Did you forget that that's what you said, Harp?
I said gas goes down.
Oh, really? And then when you told me about it dispersing up out of the containment, I also pointed out that prior to you saying it goes up to disperse out of the containment, you denied that that happened, then confirmed that it did. Do you want to deny that gas is going to disperse out and up out of the containment again? Do you want to deny that?
Oh, when I did that the first time, I misspoke. I wasn't thinking about what was going on.
Oh, so the gas will never escape, so therefore it could be delivered in cups then?
The fact of the matter is...
So it could be delivered in a wheelbarrow, because it's never going to go up, right? You deliver these gases in wheelbarrows because they're never going to go up.
The fact of the matter is...
that they go up. That's why they're not delivered in cups or wheelbarrows. And then when they arrive in cups, they've come from pressurised containers, because they ultimately would go up if you didn't have them in pressurised containers, Harp.
Gas tanks are a scam. You don't need a top.
Yeah, just need a wheelbarrow or a cup, right, Harp? You're yet to answer about this stuff needing containment to arrive for you to put it into this disequilibrium in a cup and watch it slowly disperse up and out of the cup.
Yeah, I already addressed that.
What, by saying, yeah, it will disperse up and out of the cup? Yeah, that's where I told you about me leaving a giant steaming shit on this claim you've aligned with.
So gas, you can't pour gas out of a cup.
Yeah, you can pour it out, but it also goes up and disperses into the available gases around it, having been pressurised to arrive at that state of disequilibrium in the first place. Obviously, if it wasn't pressurised, it would have gone up on the journey to the cup. But it arrived in a pressurised container because gases also go up. They disperse to fill the volume they do. It's a natural law. But obviously you can assert it if you force it into disequilibrium by way of pressurised container and then pour it into a cup for a very brief period of time whilst entropy is still actually occurring and the gases are indeed going up. You can say that they're going down for a very brief period of time. That's fascinating, Harp.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's fascinating, but they're also going up. So the ones that are going up aren't going down, Harp.
The ones that do go down.
But the ones that aren't are shitting in the face of this claim.
The only reason those
some gases
are
go up
going
and
down,
others go down?
Yeah, so when you say that gases are going down, and I say, what about the ones that are going up? Maybe we could just ignore them.
The only reason a
of
concentration
gases,
of CO2 and sulfur hexafluoride is going down is because it's displacing the air. It's more dense in a concentration. But CO2 and sulfur hexafluoride and every other gas is expanding in all directions. At all
more
times,
concentrated.
even in a concentration. It's not just going down. It's more dense than the air, so yeah, it will go down. And for a time in a concentration, it will dip below the air. But we don't live. Bob Nodell was claiming in still conditions.
What do you mean? There you go.
One second. Bob Nodell claimed it was in still conditions, right? That he was talking about. And why he threw that in, and he did it real subtly, so people wouldn't, who were listening to it, wouldn't attach to it, is because he doesn't want people to realise that we don't live in still conditions. We live in air that's constantly moving. We constantly have pressure changes in weather and temperature changes, causing pressure changes. So, and pressure changes causing temperature changes. So we have a constant movement of gases. So gas does not go down even in still conditions. In a container, it's moving in all directions once it's in gaseous form. And when it's not in a container, it's still doing it, regardless of the situation. Bob is wrong, 100%. He just has parlor tricks, tricking and fooling people. And Harp, you should have known better.
I don't even understand where the entire claim is coming from. Like
gas doesn't
what,
go
because,
down.
Because you
If
can
you've got a-
locally
let me
push
just-
away gas?
You've got a high concentration of gas, which you can utilise to displace all of the less concentrated air around it temporarily. And in so doing, you can make it behave in a manner that you're describing, whilst ignoring that while that's occurring, other gas particles in that concentration are immediately and always dispersing away from the claim of a downward vector. So, for every one that you say, well, that's going down, yeah, because they're going in all directions, some down, but the claim that they're going down as a bias means they're all going down. But obviously they're not, because they would never disperse into the air, and you'd be able to bring them in like water or sand in a cup. But that's not how gases behave. They fill the volume they've got. They disperse. Now, if you've got them in high concentration, you can force the air out of the way temporarily and perform this parlour trick. Doesn't mean that the gases aren't dispersing, and they are indeed going up at the same time as the parlour trick's going on. And eventually, all of them will go up. Without exception, they will disperse throughout the gaps in the air. That's what gas does. So eventually, there'll be none at the bottom. It won't be concentrated at all. It will disperse with entropy. Meanwhile, the question on the table that we ask, that this horse show, this parlour show is going on as a result of, is how can you have gas pressure without a container? That's what we ask on a daily basis. So unless this is an address to how you have gas pressure without a container, then it's a straw man, because that's the question being asked. Answer, you can't have gas pressure without a container. Now in this instance, even if you can temporarily transport it in a cup, it will disperse, hence its need for containment in the first place, to bring it in to make this example.
Bob Nodell is
great.
proving
My question was,
equilibrium.
Gas
That's
go
what
down,
Bob
can you
Nodell-
pour
one second,
gas? And
Howard.
you said yes. And then you went into a monologue.
Hang on, Howard, 1 second. Bob is proving relative density equilibrium, right? Without a doubt. And that's the thing he's supposed to be fighting against. He's using relative density equilibrium to try and fool people. He's fooling
No.
you.
It's
He's making
fine.
a
It's
fool
fine.
of you.
Let me just try one more way with Harp. What do we cover here?
Yeah, I don't
in
want to
terms of-
hear any more monologuing.
Okay.
Seriously.
Well, I'm
You
asking
answered
you
the question.
questions. I'm not monologuing.
You
I'm
can
asking you
pour
something.
gas.
Okay,
Period.
I'm asking you a question. When we talk on the show about the standard of validity to phenomena, then what is that standard that we typically apply here, Harp?
Harp, you're a total idiot, man.
Hold on, whoever's, just let Harp have his moment. We're friendly here, Harp, honestly. What's
Yeah,
the standard we
stop
typically apply?
monologuing and let me say something.
I'm just asking you a question about the standards that we
It
typically apply.
goes down when you pour it.
We
Staying
heard the
there in a
claim. We heard the
pile or a
claim.
pool,
Okay. When you pour it,
let
that's
me-
man doing that. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. When you pour it, that's a man pouring it then. So that's definitely a
Right.
man-made phenomena. So the man's inducing that. Unless you can show me this occurring naturally. Have you got a natural occurring phenomena where gas go down, go boom, boom, that we can study the cause of?
Yes.
Feel free, whoever said yes.
So
There was a volcanic eruption a few years ago, and it released a bunch of CO2. And the CO2 immediately went down and filled this town with CO2 and displaced all the oxygen, and a bunch of people died.
Okay, so you had a high concentration of gas
That's a natural
displacing the air.
phenomenon.
Okay,
Yep.
so that gas that's because gas goes down, go boom, boom, correct?
Well, carbon dioxide goes down below oxygen, yeah.
Oh, really? So where did it originate, this carbon dioxide? Did you say it was below?
It came out of the earth. Yep.
So it would be below the people originally then?
Well, it was trapped underground, yeah.
So that would be underneath them and it went up first, correct?
Yeah, because it was
Sorry,
a release
stop,
of pressure
stop,
from underground.
stop. No, that can't be correct. The gas goes down. What are you talking about? It went up first. No, the whole premise here that's being claimed is that gas goes down. What
Because
do you
it
mean?
was a release
Stop.
of pressure.
Hello? Is it just
No,
me, or
first.
when I get to a point that absolutely annihilates this crap, suddenly I'm being chanted through? Why is that, I wonder? I'll just try once more. It's about the fourth
you ain't
attempt.
annihilating shit today, bro.
Oh, really? Maybe you can chant that I'm not winning when I ask about the gas going up first. Again.
Okay, can you agree that liquid goes down?
Sorry, talking about gas and about the gas going up first. Maybe we could ask about liquid doing something different first. No, let's focus on your claim about this volcano and what the gas did first. Did it have to go up first?
Yeah, Nathan, can you agree that liquid goes down?
When we're having an argument about gas and whether gas goes down, go boom, boom.
You don't want to answer my question because
So maybe your question will be what I get told off for not answering. When you've claimed a volcano proves gas go down, go boom, boom, and I ask how it originated in that situation and it had to go up, you want to ask me a question about liquid on a different subject and tell me I'm unreasonable for not answering your question when you seem to be chanting through me and ignoring my question about how the gas arrived at that situation. Going up.
you don't want to answer my question.
Yeah, you're going to chant about how I'm not answering your question when you've made a claim about a volcano. I've asked about what the gas is doing, and it starts going up to the top from underground, underneath the people, so it went up. But gas won't be doing that because gas goes down according to this claim. You're ignoring me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're ignoring me.
It goes down.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It had to go up first. You don't seem to want to concede that. You want to talk about a different subject about how water does when we're arguing about gas.
Up, right? If a force is pushing the gas up, like if I...
Up? No, gases don't do that according to this claim. Why are you now telling me about how they went up when your claim is they go down?
I never claimed they always go down.
Well, always go down? What you talking about? Gas go down, go boom boom is the claim here, stupid idiot.
Sorry,
do you want to just concede that you're now telling me about how it goes up when the claim, very specifically, that you've chimed in on is gas go down, go boom boom? The thing that Bob Nodell's telling me I'm a retard over is gas being demonstrated to go down. So then you give me a natural example and I say, how did it arrive at this state of going down? Oh, it went up, negating the claim again. And you tell me I'm unreasonable for not wanting to discuss water. Not reasonable? You are being unreasonable. I'm being called a retard because I don't understand. And I quote, gas does indeed go down, go boom boom. Okay, retards. No, it doesn't. Yeah, your natural example doesn't have gas going down, go boom boom, because you've first got to force it up.
Yeah, the natural example just shows the density displacement. That's all it shows. If you pour CO2 onto a weighing scale, will you get a correct weight for all that you pour onto it? No, you won't. You must contain CO2 and sulfur hexafluoride to get a weight for it, because you have to contain it because it doesn't have a singular downward vector. What you're talking about is density displacement, not gas going down.
Stop rumpusing.
Yeah, they're chanting. Yeah. They've decided to align with somebody who's deceived them. And like with the globe deception, when someone points out that you've been suckered into a lie, you don't want to accept that you've been lied to. You want to tell the person who's telling you how fucking wrong they are and chant through the middle of them while they demonstrate over and over again how wrong you are. No, you want to tell me, no, I'm right, gas go down, go boom boom. All right, so these examples we're giving you with it going up, this example with it being highly concentrated, this example with a man inducing this effect, this is all going to be ignored because we're just wrong and retards? Yeah, is that right, zealots?
Did anyone ever say gas always go down?
Sorry, the claim is gas go down. Sorry, this weaselly nature that you're inducing from us, is pathetic. Did anybody say it always goes down? Sorry, let me get it straight what the claim is. The claim is gas goes down.
As you can watch it happen.
Yes, Nathan, and you're equating that to gas never go up.
Sorry, did I ask for a natural phenomena or not?
And I gave you one.
And when we had that, I had to lead you by the hand about how the effect was first induced, and we already know that the gas had to go up first.
Yes, Nathan.
Yes, Nathan. So maybe now you can all chant through me. That's his concession. That's right, Nathan. So if I'm claiming gas go down, and in order to claim it, I've first got to force it up by natural consequence, then going down, well, this kind of is self-cancelling. Do you not understand that it was forced up first? So if you want to ignore that and then just claim gas go down, then yeah, I suppose if you ignore everything that's going on around the gas when it goes up, away from itself dispersing, or how it was forced up in the first place, I suppose the claim it goes down makes sense then, if you ignore everything else, because you've been deceived.
Yeah, if you fallaciously equate gas go down to gas never go up, yeah, you're right, Nathan.
Well, yeah, gas goes in all directions. That's our claim. You see, what you're now doing, as opposed to claiming gas go down, is claiming what we say, which is gas goes in all directions. It disperses to fill the space. That is our claim. That's right. That's what gas does. It's gas behaviour. But that's being challenged by gas go down. Your retards, gas does go down.
Yeah, you need to ask Bob Nodell.
You can pour gas, but then you go next to what?
You need to ask Bob Nodell.
Then you go up into some kind of lava fuckery.
Downwards,
Then you get white knights interrupting me. I can't even explain myself. This is getting disgusting.
You're talking completely.
You people are fucking pathetic.
Yeah, you
keep
Harp, I know this is painful. I know. You wanted to tell me how stupid I was. Yeah? Now, that didn't work out very well.
You pour gas or not?
Sorry, this is a natural effect that we're going to science, is it? This highly concentrated, contained gas transferred to an open container to then be poured. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered this already, Harp. Yeah, did we not cover this? Did you want to chant it again? Did you want a fourth go around?
Say you can pour gas.
Sorry, you want a fourth go around, do you there, chanting monkey? Because we have definitely covered this. I think the conclusion was the gas wasn't brought in cups there, was it, Harp?
Can you pour?
Yeah, he's going to just scream his chanting fundy claim at me when we've already drawn a conclusion 3 times prior, and the conclusion about it not being brought in cups. Just going to ignore that, right, Harp? Maybe have another little chant at me and tell me how unreasonable I am. No?
Are you going to let me talk now?
No, maybe appeal to format and make it seem like I haven't let you speak your 4th repetition that gas can be poured by asking me if it can be poured when we've already gone round the do-si-do and explained to you that the gas wasn't brought in cups. This highly concentrated pressurised gas was brought in a container. Now, if it did just go down, you'd bring it in cups. But you've got a little parlour trick with a highly concentrated gas forcing the air out of a cup so it temporarily shows that you can perform a parlour trick as a man. Now then we segue on to, is this a naturally occurring phenomena? Gas go down, go boom boom. And you go, yeah, out of volcanoes. Natural phenomena, yeah, definitely gas go down. What about when it goes up? Then I get told how unreasonable I am and I should talk about liquid. That's where we're at. Now that has progressed, that summary, with a lot of chanting from irritated fundies asking me if I'm ready to let them talk and repeat crap we've already covered.
I want to show a naturally occurring phenomena.
You filthy bastard, no. What have I told you?
Me?
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
You can't pour gas out of a cup, right?
I haven't said anything all day.
Can I ask?
Can I? A man? Yeah, a man did that. Yeah, Harp. We covered that. A man did
So
that.
it
A
was
man
fun,
did
right?
that.
So gas went down, yeah?
Yeah, a man did that. Yeah, it's a parlour trick. A man did it. It's not really a naturally occurring phenomena.
Did gas go up when he...
Yeah, naturally phenomena.
Why are
We're
you
dealing with
falling for this
physics.
shit, Harp?
Yeah, he's just an idiot. Like being in the position to tell me I was wrong because he trusted that Bob Nodell would know better.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is. They all want their dielectric acceleration. I'm going to
Oh, right, I can't have
care
it.
about- I don't care about any of that.
First,
Can I-
they need a natural phenomena of gas go down, go boom, boom, and it doesn't. It disperses with entropy.
Well, but I did want to. I mean,
Never
can I really
goes
not?
down, right?
I'm sharing my screen.
Goes in all
It's an
directions,
illusion.
Harp. Maybe
But
if you
you know
listen to
what,
the
Harp-
rebuttal a few
Harp-
times, I know that my own panel is going to absolutely ruin this conversation with you and I, and so is everyone in Discord for you. But there we go, that's life. But no, gas disperses. It goes in all directions, all vectors, not just down. Now, when somebody tells me, well, who's asserting it just go down? Well,
Oh, we
you
mean it
guys
goes
are.
down?
And you're also chanting through the middle of me summarising it. Yeah? I mean, maybe when I've finished my sentence, you could reply to the things I've said. We've covered all of it. A man's doing it. It's a parlour trick. It's not a natural phenomena you're describing.
We say all vectors, Harp.
Thank
We
you,
don't
Neil.
say
Thank
just
you, Neil.
up.
Thank you. All vectors, Harp. All vectors. We make that pretty clear all the time. Not just down.
And who said just down?
Well, what's your claim again? The gas does go down. Maybe ask me about how it can pour down again. This is your claim that when it's proven wrong and we make clear what's going on with gas, you start chanting straight through the middle of me, like a globe-believing zealot who's also being shown to be wrong by me.
Why are you still doing it then? Why even here if you know you're right?
Me?
Yeah.
This is my show. Who is talking?
I'm just asking politely.
Who's asking this?
Me. You gonna mute
Commander
me now?
Small Willie?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Everybody stop believing in the sphere, right? That's why.
My bad. Sorry. My bad. Guys who took the
Fine,
bait of the
boys.
distraction from
You-
Harp,
you
who didn't
admitted
respond,
you can
and is now
forget.
deciding to respond in the middle of me getting control and pointing out he didn't respond. But respond in the middle of me talking. There was a protracted silence, Harp. We've gone through it and explained that gas expands in all directions, all vectors, not just down. You said, well, who's saying
You
just
go.
down? And then you start chanting right on cue. But you are saying it when you ask me about gas being poured out of a cup, what, with a downward vector, like you're claiming, you mean? Maybe ask me who's claiming that after it's ripped to shreds when we point out for the 5th time that it disperses in all vectors.
And it goes
Yeah,
down, right?
there he is on cue. Right, the summary of the annihilation of his fundy belief that he was led to believe would be the reason he could call me a retard. Because you believed Bob when he showed you a demonstration with a parlour trick and poured gas down, you fucking retard. Yeah, that's your claim, you fucking retard. It's later going to be explained, after you assume it's a phenomena that occurs when it's expanding in all directions, with incoherent dielectric acceleration for the explanation of this fucking down that you're now denying, you stupid dick. So the down that you're saying nobody's claiming will be explained with incoherent dielectric acceleration, won't it, Harp?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure, so you don't know your own stupid claim that you've come here to tell me I'm a retard, because Bob is pouring gas down and is later going to explain it with incoherent dielectric acceleration in spite of the fact it's expanding in all directions, and all you can do is chant through the middle of this, again.
Can you pour gas out of a cup? Yes.
What, down?
Can you?
Down? What, pour gas down?
What? Yes or no?
Yeah, you scream it at me, you fucking fundy zealot bitch who's believed Bob Fuckwit Nodell. You're asking me if gas can go down, and when I point out that it expands in all directions, you start yelling at me your example of it going down. So are we all clear now, you utter twat, that you are in fact asking me about the downward vector that's been shown to you with a parlour trick? Do you understand that you're claiming a downward bias? Do you understand that yet? Because it doesn't seem to be the case that you even understand what you're claiming, because you simultaneously deny who's claiming down when you ask me about pouring gas down out of a cup.
I'm not claiming downward bias.
Oh, so what the fuck are you claiming then? Do you even know what you're even claiming? Because it doesn't seem to be the case. Because it seemed to me when you said gas can go down and I got you to give strict clarity to what you were claiming during a live show, that you were in fact calling me a retard because gas does in fact go down. You clarified it specifically twice. Do you want to lie about your clarity you gave to your claim about gas going down when you called me a retard? Maybe you've forgotten what you claimed specifically on a live show for a live audience with 150 people listening to you claiming that gas goes down, because you don't seem to be clear about that claim that you've made now that it's been disproven by me. That retard you called stupid earlier? Yeah. Did you not think you were claiming gas went down when you made it explicitly clear on a live show, Harp?
Did I say all gas goes down?
Oh, so did I say all of gas go down? Because it was definitely gas go down that you were claiming. Maybe it's needing a bit of weasel words adding after the fact, because it's not all gas go down. So what, just some gas go down? Yes, some gas go down because gas expands in all directions. Not just down. Doesn't need a downward bias explaining if it's not just going down, though, does it? And that's the reason for this claim. The reason you're here making a fool of yourself is because somebody does claim a downward bias there, Harp. Didn't you realise that either? You stupid flying monkey idiot.
I say all gas goes down?
So you're going to keep asking me about the fact that there's a downward bias being implied and claimed. You just didn't realise that you were being a useful idiot for this claim that's wrong. Yeah, well, not always down isn't a downward bias then, is it?
Did I say there was a...
Sorry, we know what the claim is. The fact that you are so fucking retarded that you didn't even know the claim you were punting doesn't change the fact that that is the claim you are punting. You yelled at me about the downward bias when pouring gas out of a cup. So you kind of understand the fuckwittery you're claiming, but you don't really understand the fuckwittery that you're claiming, do you, Harp? So you're basically a useful idiot.
Looking bad, Hawk. You're looking bad.
So there are guesses that go...
So you think it's time for a question of me when you don't really appreciate what your own claim is, when your own claim's definitely a downward bias, the thing you clarified. But you need to weasel out of that by asking me if you said always down. Yeah. We're clear in terms of how useful an idiot you are, but the claim is definitely a downward bias. And that's what you were yelling at me. Maybe chant through me as a point out that is in fact what you were yelling at us when you asked us about pouring a cup with gas going down, the thing you clarified in the live show. Yeah, that's going to require a lot of you chanting irritated through me, because we've been, quite calm in our demonstration of how stupid you are to punt this crap that you didn't really appreciate what the claim even was. Not down, we said always down. Well, there's a downward bias being claimed. That's later going to be clarified as being caused by incoherent dielectric acceleration, you realise. Oh, you didn't realise that? Oh, just a useful idiot then.
Guy, keep going. I could give a fuck.
Oh, really? Oh, well then, you are absolutely idiotic. You're so stupid that you didn't even realise what you were claiming when you claimed it specifically on a live show. You then defied it as with the weasel words of, what do you mean always down? Well, the downward bias that's going to be explained with incoherent dielectric acceleration is very specifically the claim that you've been yelling at us whilst asking us to explain cups that have been done with a parlour trick. Yeah, you yelled at us. That makes you absolutely thick as shit, mate. Now, I realise that you can't quite believe, after buying in with your smug grin on a live show calling me a retard, that you'd be in this position, not really going, oh, well, I didn't say always down. It's a downward bias that's being claimed, though, Harp. Now, you're a useful idiot because you didn't really realise that, did you? Or maybe you did and you're just a liar. How do my balls taste? Yeah, Bob, Nodell. Are they salty? Let's ask Harp. How salty are my balls, Harp? Gas doesn't go down, go boom boom, it expands in all directions. What do you mean, always down? Yeah, the bias, the downward bias, the fuckwittery you didn't understand you were actually claiming. The stuff I've just teabagged you with, it's nonsense, based on entropy. Did you want to tell me you didn't give a shit about me teabagging this nonsense? Or have you run away like a coward? Let's bring up Discord and see if he's legged it.
I'm sitting right here listening to your stupidity.
Oh, you're going to ad hom me? Gas not going down, go boom boom. Not wheeled in wheelbarrows. Not bought in cups. Parlour trick. Yeah? You yelling at me about the cups pouring gas down, go boom boom. What, isn't you claiming gas go down, go boom boom always? For the bias to need justifying with incoherent dielectric acceleration? What, that's stupidity that I've just summarised. Cat got your tongue?
I got here late. Did he ask a question or did he make a claim?
Made a claim that gas go down. Then when I pointed out that it expands in all directions, he denied making the claim that it always goes down, even though there's a downward bias being claimed that's going to be justified with incoherent dielectric acceleration. The problem was that Harp didn't actually appreciate what he was claiming. Just a useful idiot. I've pointed it out several times and he's just ad hom me. I've explained the situation that's occurred with a teabagging of the claim. That'd be gas going down. But not always down. Oh, so not down, so sometimes up then. Well, those gases going up would kind of annihilate a claim of a downward bias, because they're not going down, now are they? Bit like the volcano example, where the gas had to go up, all of which has been ignored, and now we're into the stony silence with ad homs following it. So you're going to explain why you've debated this crap about gas going down, the very specific claim you made? Or are you going to tell me that you Weasley really weren't claiming always down? What's it going to be, Harp? Maybe you're just a retard.
Never once I ever claim always down.
So what's the point of your claim?
bias.
So why are you asking me about pouring out gas from cups then? I don't really understand the point of your question about gas being poured out of cups if you're not claiming down. Why are you asking me to explain that if you're not claiming down? That makes no sense, you fool. Why are you asking me about the cups example then? If you're not claiming down, why are you asking me to justify you inducing a disequilibrium where you can pour gas down? Why are you asking us about that then, you fuckwit? You just shooting the breeze asking us these questions about the gas poured down out of cups? Hello? Cat got your tongue? Why did you ask us that then? You yelled it at us.
Why should I respond when...
Because it's your fucking claim, you stupid idiot. It's me asking you why you yell at me about cups being poured and gas going down if you're not claiming that. It's the second time I've asked you. Why would you answer? Well, because it's you backing up your fuckwittery, you useful idiot. That's why.
Why isn't Bob here himself?
You actually let me talk?
Why isn't Bob here? Because he knows how salty my balls are taste. He got it on his own show, didn't he? You want to call me a retard, Bob? Your gas doesn't go down, go boom boom. And this useful idiot, he's just a little taster of how salty it'd be for you if you were to call me a retard in person. Now, obviously, you won't ever get the opportunity to that because I'd hand you your own ass like I've handed this useful idiot his own ass. You're hearing me there, Bob? You're hearing the smile in my face while I tell this guy how stupid it is to claim that gas go down, go boom boom with a parlour trick? Yeah, entropy, mate. Gas expands to fill the volume. It's going in all vectors. What a stupid assertion. Did you need to justify a downward bias with incoherent dielectric acceleration? Oh, really? Yeah, gas doesn't go down, go boom boom. What a clown.
No gas goes down, go boom, boom, huh?
So do you want to give me a naturally occurring example of that, please?
Carbon dioxide.
Sorry, where did that come from again?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Why are you making the example then, you complete fuckwit? You don't seem to understand the claim you've just made.
Carbon dioxide.
I don't know. I don't know where it came from. Why are you claiming it then, you fuckwit? Second time.
Is carbon dioxide.
Sorry, I asked you why you're claiming it. You don't know where it came from. I don't know, was your answer. Why are you claiming it then, you complete fuckwit? Third
That's not
time.
what I said.
Sorry, where did it come from? The carbon dioxide you claim.
You're a jack.
Is that the laugh? Yeah, that's that laugh that maybe you'd be doing, Bob Nodell. What do you mean where it came from? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's displaced up from under the ground, up the way, and then it.
Don't help him. Where did it come from, Harp? Down, right?
Don't give a fuck.
You don't care that it came from underneath us, up. You'd prefer it fell from the clouds because you're claiming it goes down. Maybe tell me that you're not claiming it goes down now.
Does carbon dioxide go down?
Sorry, maybe you're not claiming that anymore. Are you claiming that again? Because you denied claiming it 2 minutes ago. Are you now claiming carbon dioxide go down, go boom, boom again, or not? Hello? Do you not understand what you're claiming? I don't think you do. Are you claiming carbon dioxide go down, go boom, boom, or not?
Goes down.
So you are actually claiming that?
I've watched it go down.
Sorry, so you are now actually admitting your double-speak nonsense that you are claiming gas go down now? Because you really wanted to deny it last time, but now we're back on the clarity. Is that always down? Go boom boom?
Certain gases go down.
Oh, really? And they came from the sky, because they go down, right? These gases came down like rain, did they? Hello? They came down from the sky, down go boom boom, right? Hello?
Yeah, sure, that's what they did.
Yeah, sure. Is that yeah, sure? Did Bob Nodell tell you that? Did he tell you they fell down like rain? Oh, right. Yeah, sure. You sure about that? Because it sounds like you're being told by someone you claim was a retard that definitely ain't the case.
Sounds like you're proving my fucking point.
Oh, that they come down from the clouds like rain? Carbon dioxide fall down from sky? Down, right? Hello? Did Bob Nodell really call me retarded? All right, it seems that you're being led by somebody who's projecting their own stupidity out onto people like me. Gas behaviour, in this instance, is definitely not understood by Bob Nodell, because he's using parlour tricks to claim that gas goes down. And that's not the case. You can't give me a single natural example of gas going down. You've said CO2, and then told me I'm making your argument when I ask you if it fell down from the sky. Did it fall down from the sky? Harp? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? It's very quiet, Harp. You were saying gas go down, CO2 go down, Harp. You don't seem to be saying anything. Okay. In conclusion, people who claim we're retarded for pointing out that gas expands to fill an availability of volume, yeah, that's projection. That's people utilising parlour tricks by taking contained gas that would have expanded to fill the volume if it had not been contained, and then inducing a disequilibrium to show them pouring the gas as it expands in all directions to fill the volume, I might add, to claim that gas goes down with a bias. Yeah, that definitely isn't the case. Yeah, gas is definitely moving in all vectors in all cases. It expands in all directions to fill the volume, regardless of any disequilibrium you can induce as a man. Are we all clear now? We're definitely not retarded, Harp. Gas doesn't go down, go boom boom. To assert such nonsense is retarded, however. Anybody else want to claim gas go down, go boom boom? Or maybe not all gas? Kind of negating the claim. Any other little weasels want to claim this? Maybe shout at me about an example of gas going down to deny that they claim it at all? Anybody else? Any else? Bob No Doubt fans? Anybody? Want to tell me I'm retarded? Feel free. You will have your ass stripped through your throat. Anybody else? Anybody at all? Harp? Want another go? Maybe a fifth circle jerk through gas go down, go boom boom to deny it even happens and it's even your claim? No?
Bob No Doubt is making a fool of all of you.
Yeah, Bob
Should
No
be
Doubt's made a
researching
fool of
these
you,
things
Harp.
before you make claims.
Sorry, Brian.
I'm just saying they should be researching things before they come in making these ridiculous claims. And look at who's claiming. He claims gas goes down, goes boom boom. That is the claim. That was the claim that was brought in here. You were called a retard for being against that claim.
So, Harp, you've been made a fool of. You even told us the source. I'll just point out to the audience, just these total protracted silences are me not giving him his chance to speak. Yeah, bearing in mind that the entire time I spoke, he chanted, screamed, yelled at me about examples of gas going down, and then denied his own claim. I'm not saying all gas goes down. All right, why would you yell at me to explain why cups of gas are poured out going down in a downward vector then, as they simultaneously expand in all directions with entropy, negating the claim? Why would you yell at me then if you're not actually claiming it? I don't really understand. Seems you don't understand either, but you've got a lot of silence. Maybe you want to yell at me that I didn't give you a chance to speak when you want to chant your rhetoric through my annihilation of the claim. I don't seem to be hearing anything. Don't seem to be calling me a retard, Harp. You fucking wanker. You stupid, pathetic, moronic idiot. Do you hear me, Harp? I am now calling you what you called me, but just with a lot more justification for doing so. Do you hear me, Harp, you complete retard? You are a demonstrable retard. Your claims here have been demonstrated as retarded. Do you understand me, Harp? You are also a coward, Harp. Decide that you only want to talk when I'm talking. You're going to chant through me. I'm not giving you a chance to speak as you start talking in the middle of me.
Silence, Nathan.
Yeah, total silence. Abject coward.
It's called I went outside and had a cigarette and let you just bitch to yourself.
So you're a coward. So you ran away.
Harp, can I ask
That's why I brought it up in the first place.
So you're a coward. You ran away and had a smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're a coward. So when you ran away and had a smoke, I was saying how you are a coward.
I don't care what you say.
You don't care. You're a coward. You came to yell at me about cups of gas going down to deny that you're claiming all gas go down for the downward bias of gas that you yelled at me about. And then when that was pointed out and summarised, you either chanted through the middle of it or fucked off because you're a coward. That was all you did.
Oh, first of all, I never claimed all gases go down. I never claimed gas has a downward vector, ever.
You came in claiming that gas goes down, goes boom boom, and you called Nathan and I think the rest of us retards if we went in any other direction.
That's correct.
Harp, you've been listening to us long enough, right? Harp, haven't we always claimed that gas moves what it does? What it does is move in every direction. Haven't we always claimed that?
There are gases that you can literally pour downward.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I get that, but is down one of every direction?
There is.
Sure. So how is asking if gas goes down, which is one of the all directions that we've always said gas moves in? How is that an argument?
So if you pour out, can you even have a cup of helium? You can't.
You're getting your own argument now, Harp.
I don't understand what that means.
It means that different gases do different things. That's what it means.
Sorry,
okay, but the whole thing with the gas going down,
only because
right?
of this.
Okay, but you just said that you can't have a cup of helium, so it's not going to be every gas. So what's the point of the question?
I never did say it. I never said gases all have a downward vector.
I see.
Never did
Okay,
I
but
say
Fair
that.
enough. No, that's reasonable.
Dude, but
No,
the
that's
people
reasonable.
that claim this,
Okay.
the
So
people
what?
that claim we have a bias, that there's a downward bias or gas goes down, say there is a bias towards down, but we say it's every direction,
including down.
Apparently, so have you, right?
So what's your claim then? What exactly are you claiming then?
This the thing that I said. You can take certain gases and pour it out of a cup and put stuff out, and you can see that the gas is actually going down.
Okay.
The claim.
Which is one of the directions that we say gas goes in all of them, right? Is
Only
one of the
down.
all directions.
So you constantly say gas doesn't go down. Then when I say there are certain gases that
We
do
are
go down,
that is in response to
change it
people
so
who
they go
claim
in all
there is a
vectors.
bias
No.
downwards.
Okay. Chocolate, just 1 second. You constantly say gases don't go down. Okay, no worries. Obviously, this is going to be relative to us. We're talking about us. So, I tried this earlier, and it was just meant with a lot of chanting. Which gas starts up high and goes down?
It's up high. That's a good question. I don't know. That volcano thing was pretty good, where the pressure shoots the carbon dioxide out, and that falls to the ground. So you're saying that certain gases do go down.
Right.
Whether they're puddling in a little puddle,
Sorry,
I don't know
the
if
gas
they're being
started.
puddles, but
Sorry, you just don't want to let a response come through. We heard it and responded to it. I'll try and respond again with a question. Where did that carbon dioxide in high concentration originate?
I'm not sure. I've never studied where gases actually come from.
Isn't it obvious if it's spurting out of a volcano where it came from?
Well, that one, yeah.
So where did that gas come from? Because based on this premise, right? But last time I explained my objection at this point, it was met with a lot of discord rumpusing. But no, gases go down.
Certain gases go down. They do when they hit the ground.
I know that this is obviously not getting through because all you're now doing as a response is repeating the claim. Yeah, now I'll try this calmly with you. I understand your claim. Now, I also understand that later down the road you will deny that claim you've just made. So do you want to just lock that in your brain rather than chanting it through me only to deny it later? The claim is...
What am I going to deny?
The gases go down is your claim.
Not all gases go down. I didn't say that.
Right.
Some gases do.
So not all gases go down, but this CO2 is going down, and therefore an example of gas is going down. I ask where the gas came from. And it started where? Up in the sky, it's going down. The example is of a gas going down. You ignore where it came from, start with a position of high concentration, ignoring that it's going up. It's coming out of the ground from beneath the people in high concentration. But in order to do that, it's actually on its way up. Now, temporarily, if you ignore that, you can say it rolls down the volcano whilst displacing all the air around it. Yeah, that's what it's going to do on its way up. But it's actually... chant through this concise fifth repetition of the devastating conclusion that this isn't an example of a gas going up. And while I point out that the interruption's now twofold, interrupt for a third time. Go on. While I point out that this gas, its journey, its direction is up. It's coming up from the ground in high concentration and then dispersing up throughout all of the air and will end up dispersed through everything, where in fact it started lower below everything. That's where it started. So its direction is up. Now, if you isolate one event in that process, you can say, at this point, because it displaces the gases around it in its high concentration form, that means gas go down. But I'm not saying it always goes down. And I'm not ignoring the fact that it's actually on its duration of travel up. I'm just saying that in that process it can go down. That's fascinating. It also ignores the point of the question, which is that none of this would be being discussed if you could have gas pressure without a container, because that's an antecedent to have any of this occur in the first place. Why? Well, because gas expands in all directions. No bias down, and in the example naturally occurring you've given me, it's actually going up. We all clear now?
You put CO2 into
I
a
understand
vacuum,
exactly
it will
what
fill
you're
the
saying.
chamber.
And
Harp.
of course,
if you put CO2 into a vacuum
God.
chamber, it will fill the chamber. If you put a piece of steel
No
into the
shit.
vacuum chamber, it'll fall to the ground.
Don't talk to me like I'm a fucking idiot.
You don't know what Bob Nodell is claiming, and you're here backing up Bob Nodell, and you don't even know what he's claiming. You don't know what
Talking
you're
to
talking
you
about.
like an idiot because you sound like one.
Yeah, I'm trying to be fair to you here. I'm trying to tell you where you were wrong.
Here's the thing.
And you just
You
been
put
stupid
words
about
in my mouth this whole time. After I told you that there are certain gases that I've watched literally be poured out and put out lights. I also mentioned static electricity. Told you dude was putting out candles with off his own fingers. The force.
Yes.
But we're not going to talk about that right now.
Thank you, Harp.
We can't even get through this gas thing.
Harp. Thanks. But that implies a misapprehension that we didn't hear your claims. And we did. You see, you
Hey,
didn't
Nathan,
listen
did
to
you
the
by
responses.
chance mention why gas falls down?
Harp. It seems, rather than what you're saying when you chant the same claim for the 5th time, rather than chanting the claim, what was my rebuttal when you said it the first 4 times? Can you remember? Did you switch off and blank what I said? Can you, like I do with your claim when I repeat concisely back the words you've used now you've said it and the context of your claim and get clarity from you on your claim? Is there any chance you could do that with what I said in reply 4 times? Let's see how you get on.
I'm trying not to chant. If that's what you call making clear my claim. Claim was very simple. You've been watching, first of all, and you didn't even get this part. People have been showing me gas going down a lot. I'm thinking, well, it doesn't stay there. Does it stay there?
Sorry, he's a fuckwit. He didn't listen to me. I asked him to repeat back what my rebuttal was, and what he's now doing is chanting his claim for the 6th time. So you didn't understand what I said to you then, Harp. You didn't listen that time
Hey,
either.
Nathan, did
You saw that as a cue to start chanting the same claim again, like I didn't understand the claim. Now, in every single example when I've refuted your claim, I've repeated back your contextualized claim to you. Sometimes verbatim claims were with quotes. Now, that's what I've done. Now, I'm asking you to demonstrate that you have actually listened to a single word I've refuted your claims with by repeating back my rebuttal. Can you do that?
No.
So you haven't listened to a single word I've said to refute your position, and you think that the remedy to that is to repeat your position again, that I can concisely summarise back to you. That's what you think needs
Nathan,
to be
did you
done.
by chance mention why the gas went down?
So whoever that is, let's just round out this first conversation before we move on. I'm sorry. Whoever you are, we'll get to you in a second.
No, that's Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy
We'll get
guy.
to you. Okay, whoever, I don't care. Whoever it is, we'll get to you in a second.
Oh, God. It was a simple thing. It just got blown to death.
Yeah, that's not you repeating
That's
my
what
rebuttal.
gases
That's
go
not you
down.
summarising my rebuttal. Harp, if you can't summarise my rebuttal, I will just state the fact that you haven't listened to a word I've said. Therefore, you couldn't have understood my rebuttal because you can't repeat it back to me. So there was no point having this discussion with you. You didn't listen. What you did do is chant your claim and demand that I didn't understand your claim. But it wasn't the case. You were projecting your inability to understand my rebuttal, demonstrated by your lack of repetition of my rebuttal right now. Okay? Just Try and
What I
listen.
was hearing was you putting lots of words in my mouth.
Yeah, now you're back to telling me what I've done in terms of when I've summarised your rebuttal. It's me putting words in your mouth. Yeah, okay, if that's how you perceive it, do you want to put the words
hold on.
in my mouth by repeating back the words I used? That's literally what I'm asking you to do. Now, I know you're incapable. It's my third, maybe fourth attempt of getting you to just parrot back my rebuttal to you. You can't do it because you didn't listen to it.
Yeah, he was either talking through you or outside smoking cigarettes.
Exactly. Coward.
Bring outside.
Yeah, coward.
I wasn't talking through you.
Well, so repeat back my rebuttal then.
I don't know, what's your rebuttal?
I'm asking you that. Hello? To demonstrate you understood the rebuttal, first you'd have to be able to summarise it.
I don't understand how there is a rebuttal to some gases go down, and whatever the fuck they do after that, they don't puddle, obviously. I don't know where they go. They go all over the place. Fact of the matter is, and I know you're going to just tell me I'm repeating the same thing, but I only said certain gases actually go down.
Which ones?
Well, the ones I saw were sulfur hexafluoride, which I know is a man-made
Man-made.
gas.
Okay, which ones naturally?
Is carbon dioxide natural?
The one that I slowed down my speech. I was so calm when I explained to you about the gas that you're describing making its way up from beneath the ground and eventually dispersing throughout the air. Now, that is a journey in an upward direction from beneath the ground to dispersion throughout the sky. Now, that's an
Why did it go up?
This is what you did last time. Yeah? You've asked the same question.
Why did it go up?
The
No,
problem
it's
is,
not.
you see,
Never
when
asked
I
you why
say
did
he
it
hasn't
go-
listened to my rebuttal, in each and every example, this is what he did. I started to refute what he said, and then he started chanting through me. That's why he can't repeat this back. He's still doing it right now. So you don't listen. You are, in fact, a fundamentalist religious zealot chanting straight through the refutation and then insisting that I just don't understand what you've said.
He only listens to Bob Nodell, it seems.
Yeah. Did you chant through Bob? Did you chant through Bob that gas sometimes goes up when he's talking about it going down and pouring it with a parlor trick? Were you in the chat telling him, what about the ones that go up? Did you chant that through Bob?
What about the ones that go up?
Well, they would be in stark contrast to the claim that they're going down with a bias that then needs justification with incoherent dielectric acceleration. I did explain this 5 times.
And once again!
And then he started yelling at me while I explained it calmly to him. Because he's a zealot. He's still yelling right through the middle of me. What a scummer. Yeah, that's what you've done to
Putting
my...
words in my mouth.
That's what you've done to my panel, Bob. Turned them into total assholes that just believe you. And then when they're shown to be wrong, they can't even listen to a refutation of your crap. Unbelievable. Got complete mindless drones watching Bob Nodell. It's amazing.
I just have some clarity to get on this. Did he claim that carbon dioxide goes down and then asked you why it goes up?
How did it go up in the first place is what I said.
Yep,
right.
That's basically what he did.
Yeah, okay. You aren't thinking about what you're saying, man. You need to rethink what you just said.
Think about it. It came out of a volcano, you moron.
So what? We're now back to you calling us idiots. Just unbelievable. I can't quite fathom this. This is our own side, by the way. If you're an audience member and you don't realise, this is a guy apparently on our own side that's gone away, been poisoned by complete crap, and is now shouting that we're morons when he couldn't even repeat back the refutation of the argument that I gave him 5 times.
First of all, I didn't say morons. I said whoever that was told me to rethink what I just said. How did the carbon dioxide go up from the volcano? Was that?
So that's
a good question. It's going down, right?
Yeah. When that first happened, John, I pointed out prior to asking him that question that you've just asked him that is where I take a giant steaming dump on the claim. Now, he didn't get it then. He's not going to get it now. He can't even understand why you're asking him. Why it would be stupid to ask us why it went up.
At the beginning,
And
Brian chipped in. Brian chipped in and he used the phrase, and you've repeated it, parlour trick. And there's a reason I've not said it, and there's a reason people aren't going into great detail, is it is a parlour trick. And well, the reason you don't understand it is you don't understand gas behaviour. And I'm not being patronising there, but you're describing fluid dynamics, what you think is this effect. You're not describing gas behaviour, how the individual gas particles are still behaving as they always have. The thing that you're latching onto is, I say, the fluid dynamics of this artificially induced pressurized volume, that has, due to entropy, it's going to disperse. But you're conflating that behavior, the fluid dynamics of gas, and with the individual gas behavior particle. What Bob has demonstrated is another good example of entropy and also relative density with regards to gas behavior, or relative pressure systems is what I would.
Oh, that's nice. Relative pressure systems I prefer much more when you're talking about gas behavior.
This is kind of how they model meteorologically. This is how they do the weather, because you've got areas of average different densities, and then when they interact, that's what creates weather. It's these things, as entropy is always trying to play out, but you're always got a dynamic system. That's what creates the weather. These different pressure zones, as they merge, they have to merge because of gas behavior, and it's these fronts that you see that are occurring, and that's kind of what happens when you pour CO2 out of a cup. I did it here on when we were addressing Pete and Peter, capturing helium to light it, but you need the container to get the volume to then do it. You have to artificially capture it. If you just left it, it won't just wait there till I want to light it and use it. So to me, it's just it is a parlour trick, and fundamentally, it's a parlour trick that isn't demonstrating gas behaviour. It's demonstrating fluid dynamics. I'm done.
It's an interesting discussion.
That...
Just one more thing, Brian. I will let you go, I promise. It's an interesting discussion. There's no need for it to disseminate into calling us retards. I mean, I've hammed that up as much as I possibly can to make it clear and obvious that I'm hamming
interrupt
it
you
up.
for 1 second? 1 second.
What?
I told you in the beginning. Bob said, let's go down, go boom, boom, Nathan. And in this thing, he's calling you guys retarded. I said, I never thought I would ever...
Yeah, thank you, Harp. I heard it the first 4 times. You think while I'm in the middle of summarising it, you think I need it claiming again by you when I've heard it? Yeah, we already established you're under this misapprehension that people don't listen to you. Yeah, I know. I'm summarising that. Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, when you put words in my mouth, it don't seem like you are.
Sorry, you're telling us what Bob said. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm addressing the fact that he's called us retards, when there's really no need. He can make this claim civilly, and we would have taken it apart in a civil manner, but for the fact that he's called us retards, leading me to have to ham up the response in the same manner. Take it 10x to what he's done, when there's no need. That's my point. All I'm doing is justifying something that I know some of the more stupid members of the audience will think I actually mean, when I'm leaning right at my mic, getting the most proximity effect out of it to ham it up 300%, and start calling him the same, just descending to his level. Yeah, I'm over-egging it intentionally. But I know that there's going to be idiots out there that don't realise that, and go, hey, Bob, look what Nathan's doing. No, I'm making a point. That point that you're now interrupting, that there's no need to descend it into calling us retards. We can quite civilly explain our position in terms of the parlour trick that's being utilised when man-made gas, in the case of sulfur hexafluoride, or highly pressurised gas, in the case of carbon dioxide, is shown to be temporarily seeming to defy entropy, when it isn't. It's falling in line with entropy. As Adam pointed out, it's a very good demonstration of entropy. Now, you can force things with what Adam also described as fluid dynamics when you contain a gas in a high concentration, something that was explained by Brian earlier. Now, all of these have been explained to you, Harp. None have been tolerated and none can be repeated back. But we're desperately trying to educate the audience in this stuff. Now, meanwhile, we're being called retards. Why? I don't want to call Bob a retard. I'm trying desperately to tell people that, like with concavers, They're just pretty much on our side. Yeah, they've got different ideas, which we can discuss. But calling us retards, no need. Bob, we're on the same side. Not in the same way concavers are even on the same side when I describe them in a similar manner. I'm just saying that they are not the mainstream normies that are actually throwing rocks at us and actually calling us retards because they believe it so. Now, if Bob actually thinks we're retards, okay, fine, you're entitled to your opinion. Why express that? It makes you look bad. Yeah? Now, in some ways, you could say, oh, well, you look just as bad when you did it. Yeah, that's why I over-egged it as much as I possibly could, to exaggerate the point. I'm not here to call Bob an idiot. That doesn't give me any pleasure. I don't care. I thanked Harp at the end of the live show for leaving the cliffhanger that he left. Not because he called us a retard, but because he's challenging us. Good! That's how you make progress. Does it need to come with an ad hom? No, it doesn't. It would have been discussed a lot more civilly. And chances are, if it wasn't presented in that manner, you might have had a bit more of a civil tongue with us, Harp. Now, you wouldn't have been called all the names you got called when you disappeared for a smoke, or chanted through us correcting you, if you hadn't been led to the belief that, well, these people are just retards when they claim this. Right? You wouldn't have had the attitude you had, which there's no need for. And you're going to get it back tenfold from someone like me, aren't you? Right? Well, there's no need for any of it. We're all civil people. So let's not go around ad-homing our own side when we're just bringing up an aspect of the nature of reality. This is the most exciting and fascinating bit. Yet we have to descend it into calling our compadres retards. There's just no need.
Can I say something, Nathan?
Yes,
There's
Brian,
a lot
go
of things
ahead.
I'd like to say. Thank you. There's a lot of things I'd like to say, but there's something that's been said here in the past couple of minutes that's not correct. The density of a gas does not equate to its pressure, because you can heat gas and increase the pressure, but you'll decrease the density. So the density of CO2 is not about pressure. Anthony Wiley thinks these things, and he's completely incorrect. Density is a different thing. I just want to put that out there. And Harp, you came in with a bad attitude, and you did call, you didn't just put it from Bob Nodell, you did call Nathan a retard. And you were very, very difficult to deal with. All you had to do was listen, ask the questions, talk about it. That's all that needed to happen. You didn't need that. You didn't need to carry on the way you carried on. And the rest of the people coming in, helping you, none of you seem to realise what Bob Nodell is claiming. And when you're coming in with his claims, then you're essentially making the same claim. He's claiming all gases go down, go boom, boom. That's what he claims.
And he's entitled to. And great. You know, as I said, thank you for presenting it. It's an interesting discussion. This is a longer show as a result, because it's a fascinating subject to discuss. Understanding how the world behaves is interesting. It's the best bit. Not if we're fighting amongst ourselves and calling each other retards because we've got a misapprehension about gas behaviour. That's not fair.
Hey, Nathan, did you ever mention why gas goes down?
Sorry, I didn't say gas goes down. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean the CO2. You said the CO2 goes down. Did you mention
where
why
it came,
that was?
Did I, or did I ask where it came from originally? What's its journey? Where did the CO2 come from originally there, Bob? That's the same silence I got from the last guy.
Why does the CO2 go down, Nathan?
Sorry, it came from where again, Bob? Do you want to give me the same silence and lack of response to that question I'm asking you in regards to what I actually responded with and you've clearly ignored also? So the gas started where? Up in the sky to go down, right? Because I'm claiming it went down according to you now, which I'm definitely not when I responded by asking which way it came from. Where did it originate? That was my original response. You've ignored it the same way the other guy did. I wonder why.
Because it's irrelevant. But thanks for the material, guys.
Sorry, it's irrelevant, Bob, the science guy. My question about its journey up's irrelevant when you're asking me about my non-claim that I didn't make about it going down. That's irrelevant. I think it's pertinent, Bob. Has he run away already?
Can I please quickly address it? You know,
he just ran away. Sorry, he thanked me for the material, having not answered my devastating rebuttal, which was the same devastating rebuttal he clearly also didn't listen to. Unreal. And then he legged it.
He legged it. He's going to try to figure out what a circle is.
What?
It's irrelevant?
Why did? But it's very easy to address. Why did the CO2 go down? Well, because in its concentrated form, when it still acts like a fluid, right? It goes down because its density in its concentrated state is more dense than the air that surrounds it until it eventually dissipates.
No, Arwin. It first forced its way up, moving the air out of the way as it went up. Of course, that's kind of irrelevant, though, right? Am I right, Bob? Oh, you're not here to tell me again that I'm irrelevant in my point that it's forcing the air out of the way on its way up. That's just irrelevant. My bad. Carry on, Arwin.
Brian often likes to talk about convection currents.
How was that incorrect? What is it?
Owen, I'll explain. Brian likes to talk about convection currents. If you think about what temperature that CO2 has just come out of pressurized, it's going to be a lot colder than the surrounding system. Okay, it's the convection current that you're seeing the greatest effect of there in terms of pouring. Yeah, because that system is going to predominate. You know what hot air does, it goes up, cold air goes down. Well, that CO2 is going to be significantly cooler than the surrounding pressure system around it.
Yes, but how does cold and heat influence the density, right? So the heat causes it to expand, to become less dense, and the cold causes it to stay concentrated, so it's going to be denser. So that's exactly right. It's the same explanation. It goes down because it is denser than the average air that surrounds it while it's still in its concentrated form.
I'd just like to kill Bob, the science guy's claim, because what he has a cloaked claim here he'd ever made. That is that a force of gravity causes it to go down. We all know that's his claim. Objects weigh more in a vacuum. That's the end of that claim. That force of gravity is over with that claim. That claim of force of gravity is over. Objects weigh more in a vacuum. That's the end of that claim. Just wanted to put that out there for the audience.
I love it. Brian is a bit like Sleeping Warrior in this regard, right? He knows what the direction of what is about to be claimed is based on the setup that comes first, right? So this is how sharp the panel is. I just got to give kudos to you, Brian, because yeah, that's exactly correct. That is exactly where he was going to go with that, and that's why the moment I said no, at no point did I say gas is going down when I describe it being forced up. He's got no claim to make that argument. So his paths ended where I cut him off. So Brian's like, yeah, but I would have had a row with him on that. And he would have been wrong because of this. It's like, yeah, exactly. Even if that had slipped through the net. But he had no argument if the gas is being forced up. Right?
Well, that's why it became irrelevant.
I don't even know what his argument really was. Like, I wonder
Brian
if
just
he
said
knew what his argument really was.
He didn't get to make it because he didn't have me to lean on with me saying, oh, yeah, okay, the gas comes down from the volcano. He needed me to have said that at some stage, and I didn't. Because he phrased it, so you are conceding the gas goes down then. You did never explain why it goes down, Nathan. I'm not claiming it goes down, Bob, was how the conversation progressed. No, with the volcano. No, I responded by saying it's being forced up from below the ground. And he was like, that's irrelevant. Because he needs the bit where I say, oh yeah, because if we start with the premise of me accepting gas goes down, he can then go into gravity, causing that to happen. Oh, right. So the more dense CO2 is pulled down 9.8 meters per second through the resistance of the air, or some shit like that.
Right, but it's still just density. That was my point. Like, I don't know if he really understood the point he was trying to make, because it's all very easy explainable.
He didn't have a point. That was just a tactic. That's nonsense.
Hey, Nathan, can I chime in real quick?
Go on, whoever that was.
Hey, yeah, I was just going to say, one thing that I can't stand that they do is, and you even heard him say it too, he said, thank you for the soundbite or whatever. He's going to take what you said, repeating somebody else saying it, and he's going to make the video like as if you're implying that. But I guarantee you he will leave out the part where you asked him, but where did it originate from? And I hate them. They do that all the time. They cut and edit, and it just reminds me of like mainstream media at this point. They just do it to promote an agenda.
Well, that's why you got to do an odd little voice when you phrase the opponent's claim to prevent that from happening. So yeah, they can get all the odd voices basically mimicking the opponent saying that they want. If they want to make a video of that, that's cool. But you're never going to hear anybody like Nathan or me say these things very serious with a very serious tone, right? That's not going to happen.
Just trying to give himself some pain relief. That's pain relief.
Can I
Yeah,
go back to
all
Harp
win. I
for a
know,
second?
all win.
Can I go back to Harp for a
Can I
second?
get my last word in here?
Yeah,
Hey,
then chocolate. Hold on, chocolate. Go ahead, Harp, then chocolate.
Okay, so if I guess I did call you retarded. I think you pissed me off, and that's when I did that. But I'm sorry for calling you retarded. But I came in here, and you know why I did it? Because I saw this video. You know I can't stand Bob Knodel. So that's why I started out saying I can't even believe I'm going to do this. But I keep seeing, you know the claim, and you're not claiming that it doesn't temporarily go down, correct?
Right, this is a man-made parlor trick.
Right.
That was what I was fishing for when I said, can you give me your rebuttal? Because I then go to where does it occur naturally, because we're dealing with the physics. That's the physical and natural world. And if it's a man-made parlor trick, I couldn't care less.
Okay. These gases do head downward, right? Then where they go from there, that's another thing.
Okay, let me
Never
try it like
said-
this. But, just for
Can
you,
I clear this up with him?
you can, but I promise chocolate. I just want to try with Harp one last time. If I get a gas pipe, right, and you appreciate because of the extent of the infrastructure involved with having a gas pipe in your home, if I cut off the end of the pipe and then gas gets shot out horizontally and you set it on fire and you see a horizontal flame, and I use that as an example to say gas moves horizontally, and your response is, yeah, but it doesn't always move horizontally. And I go, yeah, but here's my example of gas moving horizontally. For that example, would you appreciate that I'm just showing something by inducing it with a man-made device? And therefore
You're
it's just a parlor trick then, right? With the gas pipe and horizontal gas? You appreciate that, right?
Sure.
Harp. Ugh, fucking like
I think he said
teeth.
sure.
You hear me say yeah?
I didn't, sorry.
I think I did. I heard him say yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yes, perfect. So the fact that this is more subtle in terms of what's occurring, it's the same exact trick. Inducing the effect by taking a pressurized gas from a container, decanting it into another container, and because of the, I don't know what you want to use as the word without getting crap, the more dense, the more concentrated, the more pressurized, whatever. The fact that you've got a high concentration of sulfur hexafluoride in the cup at that particular moment, temporarily being able to show that you can pour it, or CO2, or whatever gas you do in this example, is no different to me cutting the end of a pipe and showing, look, horizontal gas. Yeah? Now for you, I'm nearly done, you can then weasel away from it by going, well, but I'm not saying gas always goes down. It's like, yeah, but for me with the pipe, I'm making a claim that gas always goes horizontally. That's the point of me showing the demonstration. And that's the point of pouring the gas down. Say, haha, presto, gas goes down. Because that is the claim. Yeah? So
But
that's
I realized what
Parlor
they're
trick.
using.
Parlor trick.
And that's the claim based on a downward bias, right? The guys that claim gas goes down, right? They have a bias downwards for gas. Do you agree with that, Hart? Do you think that there's a tendency for gas to just go down?
That is a no. Never said that. Never
Right.
will.
So
fair enough.
Okay, so then why would you come in and argue that point when this entire time we've been here, all we said is gas moves in all directions, which would include down, right? So the guys that are telling you that gas goes down, they're only saying that because they have a bias downwards, right? But if we know that gas moves in all directions, asking the people that know that if it goes down, that doesn't really make sense because it goes in all directions, right?
So
Does that
all
make
this
sense,
was
what
for
I
nothing.
said?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to come in the way you did, bro. Like, I don't know why you did all that, but yeah, the
He did-
guys
oh,
that
I do.
you coming
He
in.
said I'd pissed him off. What did I do to piss you off, Harp?
I forget now, man. I don't know. You did, you know.
Nah, man. I mean, gas goes in all directions. We knew about the sulfur hexafluoride. That's not new. That's mad old. We know about that, but we know what's going on there, right? That's a man-made gas that's obviously denser than the gas in the air in the room, right? So in that particular instance, yes, you can pour it into the tank. Is it going to stay there? Even while you're pouring it, do you think molecules of that gas aren't escaping at that particular moment? Nobody is ever saying that it just goes down, that it doesn't. It goes in all directions, man. We've always said that. The guys who say it goes down like bouncy balls, well, they're saying it goes down like bouncy balls, forgetting the ones that don't do that. Right? How can you exclude the gas that's going up if you're just going to say gas is going down? Right? That makes no sense.
With that, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, hitting the PayPal link, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.